Hello guys and welcome back to our second topic of the week. It is rating every Premier League's team season so far. We're going to go through every 20 Premier League team.
It'll be a long
episode for you guys today. But listen, we've got to talk about something serious here. Okay? There's been a documentary that's been recently released on Mercer's Twitter called Surviving Man City, right? You guys have been asking for a sequel, Surviving Real Madrid. There's one more documentary that's going to be in the works. And Fuad will be part of it. It's going to be called Surviving Faisal. As you can see across from me right now, Fuad, your eye is just non-existent at the moment. And he's laughing. Your abuser is on the table
I actually don't know why.
opposite you.
He's gaslighting you.
And I can't and he's actually laughing at you. Guys,
You deserved it.
Oh, he did.
So you think a game of FIFA now deserves it?
This is what abusers do. They gaslight you. They try and pin the blame on you. This is very toxic behavior of a typical abuser.
And we've spoken about this before as well. We've had viewers talking about you cutting up people.
People are sending
being
super
rude
chats.
to people.
Yeah.
That's one thing. And the thing is, I'm the newest member. I thought this was like SDS, welcome to the family. We like you, Fuad. Welcome to the team. Everybody's been so warm and welcoming. I thought, yo, post pods, we chill, watch FIFA. Lovely. Last thing you can expect is you beat someone fair and square and they decide to sock you in the mouth. Sorry. And then now you're coming here and
laughing at you.
Listen, everyone in the comments, please. I want to you, Faisal. On behalf of me.
Guys, if you don't know what we're talking about, by the way.
Welcome, hype. What's this? SDS.
If you,
I don't get you. I'm going to get my lick back. Don't you worry about that.
Yo.
Eye for an eye. I promise you that.
Guys, if you didn't know what we're talking about, listen. There's going to be some images that come on the screen. If you have any small children at home, please keep them out the room. Viewer discretion is advised.
Just held an L, doesn't know how to take it. 3, 2, in your...
Okay, Faisal, would you like to say sorry now?
Sorry for what?
Sorry, hype.
Sorry, hype. SDS family hype.
Listen.
What's this?
Welcome to the SDS family. That's your welcome.
I can't lie. One thing you did say though, which pissed me off. None of the other shit, I don't care, man. And by the way, you said, people in my DM saying, stop being rude. Shut the hell up! Shut the hell up! But one thing you did say, which pissed me off, he said he beat me fair and square. No, you didn't!
You beat him!
I beat you!
Wait a minute, he beat you twice!
Where's the evidence?
In real life and on FIFA!
Yeah.
Where's the evidence? With the beating him to the eye we didn't see no FIFA evidence.
It's true.
Where's the FIFA evidence?
True.
Not you posting that 3-2 where you beat the AI.
Oh,
are you claiming that as me?
Okay,
no, it was amateur as well.
I prefer not to speak. I prefer not to speak.
Stop believing that.
Quit the game, started a new one, beat it just so we could post a screenshot. Sad.
Okay, are you now dumb to believe
listen,
that?
you got to remember, this is a day Madrid dropped points.
Don't gaslight me, but
Madrid dropped points at
I beat him Valmeria.
Yeah. Then he battered him with Almeria, 5-1. Yeah. Then he come to face me, and I said I hadn't played FIFA in years. I'm a rookie. Take it easy on me.
You lost an old
So he lost to me.
Yeah.
And he couldn't take it and got physical.
That's like losing to my uncle or something like that.
Say no more.
Well, guys, that was a very long intro, but it was a very funny intro. As I said at the beginning, we're ranking every Premier League team season so far. As you can see on the screen, there's all the 20 Premier League teams. We're going to rank them A star, A, B, C, D, and F. Like you said, Faisal, it's going to be a long video, bro. So what should they get? What kind of snacks should they get? What kind of,
falafel and hummus.
Falafel and hummus for SDS.
100%.
You're such an uncle. You're such an uncle.
Do you know?
Bring me the hummus.
Do I know about falafel and hummus?
People think hummus hummus is a snack.
It is a snack, but it's a fat man snack.
That's a cross.
I know you ain't doing celery sticks.
I am.
Hey, listen, today's gonna be a fun episode.
Get your popcorn or some shit like that.
Yeah, get your popcorn. That's all.
We got kids in the audience.
Hummus, fam.
Hummus.
Unless you're candied or some shit like that.
Try at home.
Oh, that's a great snack to pick. Okay, cool. Let's get into this video. Yeah, this is gonna be a fun video. I can already tell. I've got a good table ahead of me. Yeah. Listen, the first team we've got coming up. We've got one person on this table supports them. Support hype.
Does he though support them?
No, he's an enthusiast. He told me he's an enthusiast.
Hey,
It's Manchester United first, by the way. Leah's take it away.
Hold up. Don't throw that kind of allegation and just say, I'll take it away. Hey, Sharky was saying what did he say? I'm a method actor as a Man United fan.
Christian Bale.
Like that. Bro, what benefit do I gain from pretending to support the shit club, man? They drive me through so much stress and heartbreak. I don't gain anything by pretending to support them,
They're
bro.
currently fourth, bro.
This is real life shit, bro. It's in my blood, man. It's in my blood, bro.
I bleed red. I bleed red.
Pops and the flags. I'm like, you know what? We calm down.
Bro, come on, man. Come on, man.
So wait a minute, you saying the shit team? So where are we ranking these guys then? You say
Nah,
they have had a
hold
good.
on.
They're fourth in this year.
Shit is a big word.
You got scared of the Twitter people.
DMs are coming.
But look, if me and Man United are in a relationship right now, it's a rocky part of the relationship right now.
Is it like a Fuad and Faisal relationship, like a domestic kind of?
Yeah, they're my abusers right there. These guys are my domestic abusers, bro. They gaslight me, they hit me, they mentally abuse me, bro.
Hey.
So where would you start from? Like, just give us a debate, and then we'll see if we agree with you guys.
Look, based on all of these teams, the kind of criteria I based my grades on is kind of based off how my early initial season expectations were for each team.
Of course.
So I think of United, I've said this all throughout the season, I think people are kind of downplaying the job that Ten Hag has done this season, even though recently hasn't been great. But throughout the season, people are forgetting where United were in most people's heads before a ball was even kicked. And then even when the transfer window kind of came through and people are talking about, oh, he had 200 million to spend, this is where he should be. Let's not forget that no one rated the Lisandro Martinez signing. Everyone was saying he's a midget, he can't play a center back in the Premier League. Yep. Everyone doubted the Casemiro signing, right? As great a player as we knew he was. But everyone believes it's just a typical United signing a big name, and is he going to fit in Ten Hag's system? Like you're going from Frankie to Casemiro. So no one rated that.
Everyone doubted the Weghorst signing.
Yeah, everyone doubted Antony for 100 million, right? And whether you have doubts about it or not, like that's where most of the 200 million comes from, Antony. So it's not like he's signing world-class bona fide players in the eyes of the people who were judging Ten Hag. So I think most people expected Man United to finish 5th, 6th, maybe even 7th this year, bro. Very few people, in my opinion, had United firmly in the top 4. And if they did, maybe they were kind of expecting Chelsea to fall off, or Spurs to fall off. And even then, you have Arsenal, City, Liverpool. So I would give United this year, and it is subject to change because they could fall out of 4th, which is where they're at right now.
Of course.
I would give them a B. I would give Man United a B.
I probably agree with that. So far, if they secure top 4, in 2 cup finals as well. And I think, as you said, there's so much to deal with. People forget the Ronaldo saga as well. Like how many managers have had to kind of deal with that type of situation. Chelsea fans will know Lukaku last year, what that was like to deal with. Yeah. So I think especially the size of Ronaldo, getting that out as well, getting Weghorst in, having to pretty much, let's be honest, he's hunting with a blind dog. So
I'm going to war with a cat.
So I personally, I think he's done a lot at that club, and now it's become where the results. I had a feeling that this might happen throughout the season, so there'd be a lot of positives, but there's going to come a rough period where results aren't going well, the team's not playing well, but now eyes are gonna be firmly on Ten Hag, and I feel like now people are starting to kind of, I don't know, United fans, a few of them anyway, are starting to be like, is he really the guy we were sold? I think everybody thought he was coming in to be this swashbuckling tiki-taka manager. He's not that. He's someone adaptable, he's flexible, but he's a good coach. That's what he is. And I think throughout his time at United so far, he's shown that.
There's been a few hiccups where he hasn't been as pragmatic. Yeah, exactly. A lot of managers had that.
I think the target this season for United would have been a cup and then top 4. And at the moment, he's on the route for both.
He's got that.
I think if I could, I might actually give it a C+, just because I don't think you can ignore
B- as well. Yeah.
B-, C+, just because I don't think you can ignore the 7-0, the 4-1s. Like there's been some absolute.
That's why his pragmatism.
Yeah, bro. It's very difficult to kind of just ignore 7-0. Like, and we've had several thumpings this year. So B, like flat out, I probably would give him B-, C+, like you said, but. Overall, it's been more of a success than a failure for Erik Ten Hag this season.
I mean, we had a preseason prediction video, and Faisal next to me said, if they have Ronaldo, they'll finish 3rd. If they don't have Ronaldo, they'll finish 6th. Well, Faisal, they don't have Ronaldo. They're currently in top 4.
However,
Yes, go on. Give me a however.
I said, you're right though. I said in that video, if Ronaldo leaves in the summer, they'll finish 6th. But did Ronaldo leave in the summer? He did not.
You know where they were when Ronaldo left? They were 5th.
It doesn't matter.
We improved.
Ain't no problem. Ain't no problem.
Hey man, stick to Real Madrid TV. Stick to La Liga, bro.
It doesn't have a problem.
When we need to grade Valladolid's transfer.
I can't know that, man. Yeah, we'll talk
I said, no. Let's be real. I said if he continued, it's 3rd. And so far, they finished in top 4. He at least impacted with 1 goal.
What was 1 goal? Who was his 1 goal against?
Couple of assists. I think it was against Everton. Am I mistaken?
Yeah,
Look at that knowledge.
I mean, bro, it's 1 goal. I mean, bro, it's not like he's got to think about many.
I agree.
Yeah, he played a handful of matches as well.
Well, it was just a couple. So. But no, I think I agree with you. I think it's B. I think I had when I came here, I think B was sensible. The only thing, and again, like Ten Hag had made some tough decisions. Maguire.
Yeah, I had to take him
first
out.
week,
The captain. You had to take him out, yeah.
The Ronaldo situation, difficult to deal with. And I think that's another one that he had to deal with. Like a tough. There was the Rashford situation.
Yeah, it's true.
Where he came. I think it was
The Sancho situation, even.
Sancho
Oh, yeah,
situation.
Sancho, yeah.
So he had to.
That was very good man management from him because he told Sancho, listen, take a break away from football, focus on your mental, come back, and then we'll be prepared for you.
I agree.
We'll be happy
The
to
only
integrate you.
thing I might give him a bit of criticism towards is just maybe the signings. Like Anthony, really? Like 100 mil, really? You needed a striker. Where was the striker? Especially after Ronaldo left.
Yeah.
Wakehorst. And
But Weghorst was a tough one because who could they really get in January?
bruv, get Abubakar. He was free. And he was available at that
In
time.
fact, that whole thing, it was so funny about that deal was Weghorst was at Besiktas, Abubakar was at Al Nassr, and Ronaldo was at Man United. Ronaldo went to Al Nassr, Abubakar went to Besiktas, Weghorst went to Man United. It was like a triangle trade.
That's the worst triangle I've
It
ever
was
heard, man.
weird, bro.
And the stubbornness to keep.
I think the stubbornness is the issue, right?
That's the
Not
thing.
even just Weghorst, but even Sabitzer, right? Those are 2 loan signings he kind of made as emergencies.
But he had
He
to,
bought
yeah.
Sabitzer as an Eriksson, or he brought him in as an Eriksson replacement to play like deeper next to Casemiro, and he brought Weghorst to be the striker.
Yeah.
Both of them were so poor at their roles that he basically moved them to other positions, ruining for me the dynamic of the team because Bruno has to go wide, Rashford has to go up front to still shoehorn these signings almost to justify their inclusions in the team. And I think going into the summer really is we're gonna really judge Ten Hag, to be honest with you. I think earlier than I expected because for all the tough decisions he's made, there's still so many left to make. And I think starting with the goalkeeper, right?
Yeah, 100%.
There's so many
goalkeeper.
tough decisions he still has to make surrounding this team. And I think next year, this might be early to make because I think it still depends on the signings that we make, but I think people expecting United to suddenly challenge for the league next year, I don't think it's going to happen, bro. I think there's too many holes in
You
this
guys-
team to be
you
fixed
guys-
in one
It's-
window.
Next year is more closing the gap, I think,
Yeah.
to as minimal as possible.
And
rather
I
than
don't think they're going to
Yeah.
do it, bro.
be an outside challenger, even if you're challenging up until January, if you like. But then
You guys were
Yeah.
comfortably top 4 this season for a while, but only like you said, recent form has kind of dipped off. I think if you guys solidify top 4 next season and just make it your own, like third place, and then maybe.
But I think they'll struggle, to be honest with you, United. I look, they might be early, and I think signing a guy like Harry Kane, for example, I don't know if it'll happen, but if they were to sign a guy like Kane, he wins them points on his own.
100%.
But again, bro, like I know we say this every year, but the league will improve. Liverpool have basically took off half the season, and they're not that far away from us, and they're having one of their worst years ever.
Yeah.
Newcastle are only going to
Chelsea
keep
could
improving.
come back
Chelsea,
now.
we'll talk about them in a bit.
Yeah, of course.
Newcastle will be there, Arsenal, City. So United, they really have to get this window coming up right. But I would say for this year, I've been more happy than upset.
I'll be more than happy to put them in the B. I think that's like the general kind of conclusion around
think
the
it's-
table.
yeah, I think it's
But that's
nice.
only the fair one.
I
Next one. I think we'll just put them there. Listen, next one we're gonna go with.
No, I agree with Arsenal.
We're gonna go back here just for the visuals.
No.
But we got Arsenal next. Okay. Listen, I think we had an A-star season so far.
No.
Oh,
Chill-
let me
chill out,
guess.
chill
We
out.
bottled the league.
No,
okay.
chill out.
Why is it
No.
chill out?
Actually, you know
Why
what?
is it
Nah,
chill out?
okay, how about this?
What
No,
was
okay,
our expectation going into the
okay,
season?
how about this? How about before we say what we feel, you give it up.
yes,
Go on. Our expectation this season was to get top 4. Okay, we lost it last season to you guys, and we bottled top 4, right? Okay, so that's the way our season was meant to start. Get top 4. See, we were first for 93% of the season. Okay, context matters. I completely understand that. But at the end of the day, Arteta has taken a squad, this team, to a top 2 finish, guaranteed. That has to be an A-star season, considering that. Let's be fair. Did anyone had Arsenal in their top 4 before their preseason predictions? Did any of you
Yeah,
guys?
I did. I know.
Contenders. So he had contenders.
I had them coming 4th.
Okay, so it's contending as well. So you're like just about got 4th.
No, but top 4. I didn't think they would come anywhere near the league.
Yeah.
I'll be very
What
honest.
did you have? Outside top 4. So what? We finished second. We guarantee that's solidified. And now you're telling me it's not an A-star season?
Let me ask you this, Asib. I didn't. The reason I didn't bring up United's cup success or even their runs for my thing, is it purely on Premier League, or are we also taking their
We can be fair and add domestic.
Because if that's
I
the
think that could be
case, then
fair.
I would give them an A.
Because I want to add also maybe a little bit of Europe as well. Because there will be some teams coming up and
I just think Arsenal really, I mean, agree or disagree, I think they have basically given up the cup competitions. And when you do
focus
that,
solely on the
when
league,
you do that and still, like it or not, bottle the league like the way they did, I find it very difficult to say A-star. Now, I agree with you completely. I've actually said Arteta is my manager of the season.
Yeah.
I never in my wildest dreams expected Arsenal to be contending for the league with this kind of City team.
Yeah.
So I agree it's a tremendous season, but A-star,
It's just context
A-star
for you.
is like everything went perfectly. Or like everything went...
But didn't it go perfectly?
No.
But it's because context now.
Yes,
But context
and
has
that's
to
the
come
thing,
into
and
effect,
I'm not
bro.
going to remove that because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about grading the season,
Yeah.
and the season was you were en route to an A-star season, and then it fell away, and that's where it became an A. Because had you won the league, I would have still given it an A-star. Had you won a league and a cup, what would that have been?
But then
this is my thing.
I understand what you're saying. But if you're going down later down the line, we're not going to mention those teams yet. But there are some teams where they've been way higher than their expectations, and I think personally they deserve an A-star season.
and they will.
And that's why I'm giving a similar kind of reason to Arsenal. Like you're seeing 1 or 2 teams there where you're like, oh, I didn't expect that team to be anywhere near. Like
I
they
agree.
surpassed the
thing is,
expectations.
had
You can argue for an A-star, but with Arsenal it's like, nah, we can't really give an A-star because of this X, Y, and Z.
It's the context.
No,
of it,
I know.
And
The
the thing
context
is,
has to do
it's the timing of when it's happened as well. For me, is key. But then also, I think I forgot my point there as well.
It's happened to me a few times, bro.
But I can't even remember what I was going to say now. But you lot are shit.
This guy,
No, now I just remembered actually. No, had you hit top 4, basically, I think
Just
and
hit
it was
top 4.
just top 4, that would have been a B season. I think
Yes,
because
I
most
agree.
Arsenal fans would have said,
Yeah,
we
that's true.
expect that. Had you now go on and achieve the above, that's why A-star is the title
Yeah.
for me. You don't get the title, you finish second. Credible. Wicked season, A. And that's what you get. That's how I feel. I feel winners, you do that. That's superseding, miles above your expectations. Challenging, finishing second.
I think A is fair,
Nice.
to be honest with you, because I agree with you. Like,
Like
if
general consensus then.
Arsenal coming second and not winning a single trophy is an A-star, then what the hell is winning trophies on top of that? What is that, like...
Competing on all
You
fronts.
get your,
that's the
you
main
get your
factor.
master's or
Yeah.
PhD or something like that,
Because
bro. Like,
because we're not going to get onto them yet, but it's like someone like West Ham, right? They're in the semi-final of the Conference League. I'm going to factor that a little bit in as well.
Yeah.
We have to be fair on that
Yeah.
account, but I guess I've lost the argument here, and everyone's general consensus is A.
yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think-
exactly. Hey, bro, by the way, A is still an achievement for you, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, A is not a bad thing. I
don't
think you
take it-
want
I
top
want the
marks.
star. I want the
you're
star.
going to uni, bro. Like,
That's Faisal's uni. I don't want to go Faisal's uni, okay? I want to go to the higher uni, yeah?
you went uni. Manchester City.
Right, guys, well, I lost that one. Sorry, Arsenal fans. We finished A there. Faisal's still wondering if we went uni.
Did I? Chill out with that one.
You thought it was uni, innit? Anyway, listen, the next one is Man City.
Wow.
Listen, the next one is Man City.
A-star.
So, okay, now, yeah, here we go. It's A-star, right?
has to be A-star.
Is it A-star now?
I say A-star.
It has to
Okay,
be.
it's
No.
A-star.
Okay.
What?
Oh!
Can I give you the
chill.
reasons why?
Go on. Before you forget your point again.
For me, I think the way they've gone through pretty much a transition year this year, in my eyes, and they've done it mid-season. They haven't taken the season off like most teams do. The fact that Pep's been able to do that transition and keep close to Arsenal, while Arsenal are having their best ever season, or they're having an A-star season, as you wanted to say, they were keeping just right behind.
Don't say it like that.
No. You were saying A-star season,
Okay.
but they were right behind that.
Yeah.
So now that they've surpassed that, they've beaten that team multiple times as well. They've figured out a new system. They've reformed the back line. They've got Haaland, a record piece that people are saying, you're not going to figure him out. Oh, we're still going to play our pop football, and we're going to find a way to incorporate Haaland. And guess what? Now we've got a new transition kind of way we play as well. We've got inverted fullbacks now. Like, there's so many things Pep has done this year.
They're on the course for trouble, bro.
This is
Faisal doesn't like what you're cooking, by the way.
as you're saying as well, is you want to include some of the cups. FA Cup final,
finals.
he's there.
Potential
Semi-final, potentially already done something away at Madrid. So for me,
they've
it's a
competed on
case
all
of
4 fronts.
what is
three
he not-
fronts.
So literally, he's competing on almost all the fronts. As you're saying, what is he not doing to at the moment say it's an A-star season? You've gone through things where you've had setbacks as well, where you've been the chaser, and now you're in the lead. I have to give you massive credit for that. Listen, I've said this season, I've become a Pepite. I've stopped questioning this man. Whatever he does, we follow.
But no, I agree with him, to be honest. I don't know what Faisal is going to say in terms of, they deserve an A. But, bro, they are literally on course to win the league. I believe they're going to win the FA Cup. And they've just picked up a great result at the Bernabeu that, assuming they shouldn't mess this up at home, I'm not saying losing to Madrid is messing it up, but they should be considered the favorites in the next round, or in the next leg.
And even in the
they
final.
should be in a Champions League final. They should probably win the treble this year, and they look on course to do it. Yeah. So unless, again, they drop off like United would, and then I would give them a C, City are an A star, but this is an easy one for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna be devil's advocate, but I have to go.
No, but Faisal,
you're the only one saying you're not feeling it.
Talk to me, Mr. Real Madrid A-star.
No, our season.
Ancelotti. Wait. I just want to ask one question before you start. Was Ancelotti's season last season an A-star or A?
Last season?
It has to be an A-star, bro. Come on.
Last season?
It's an A-star, bro. My days.
Like last season?
The one where you won the league and the Champions League?
Brother, why are you taking so long to answer this?
Guys, I said it last week, or I said it this week. I'll say it again today. I hate Real Madrid fans. I think your club is brilliant. I love so many of your players. You guys are the most spoiled fan base on the planet.
Let me first go to the City thing, and then
Then you answer my point. Okay, go on then.
What? First of all, I disagree. I think City's season is an A with potential to become A-star. Start of the season.
Subject to change.
Start of the season. Most people had City to win the league. Yes or no?
Yes. Yeah. No, I had them coming second.
But most people had, especially with Haaland. You brought in the best goal scorer with one of the best goals we've ever seen. The best goal currently. You brought him in, and you're telling me the expectation was to compete, bro. You were always going to win the league. Yes, Arsenal did well, but it goes back to your earlier point.
Yeah.
The expectation from early of the season, you were the Premier League winners.
But
that's one. Hold on. Okay. That's one. Secondly, your competition, Liverpool, Spurs, yes, Chelsea. Everyone did shit act.
Yeah.
The only competition you had was Arsenal. That's it. That's why it says subject to change is because of the Champions League. If you win the treble, brother, I can't argue with that. Yeah. You've had the perfect season. But Pep, when he came into this season, the expectation was what?
Already won the league.
I've won the league,
I've won the
and
Carabao
I
Cup
brought Haaland for one reason and one reason only, and that is to win the Champions League. Even Haaland admitting it himself. Haaland said it himself after he scored the 5 goals against Leipzig. What did he say? After he scored? He said, City brought me for one reason only. What is it? To win. We win the league already.
But Faisal, they haven't lost the Champions League yet. I understand what you're saying in terms of, they have to do it to give them an A-star, but at this point, they've been perfect, bro. They haven't messed it up yet. So I would say they're an A-star until they prove me otherwise. I would go the opposite of your logic.
Because the thing is, as you're saying, the only challenges were Arsenal. Up until 2 months ago, we were planning a parade here.
And bro, you can say Arsenal, they were shot 90%.
Listen, this parade thing.
You're trying to keep clean.
I told you, I wanted little floats. That's all I wanted.
So I hear this, but my thing is you're almost removing the context of the season because, at the start of the season, we expected him. Yeah, we thought Haaland coming in. Haaland was getting his, but City didn't look like City. First half of the season, we were saying, City look a step off. They look defensively fragile. Their tiki-taka's not doing it. They're doing long balls into Haaland. I remember all of this narrative. So now we're not going to turn around and act like because City are the super team now, that's what they've been all season. No, they've had to figure it out and get to this point. And that's why I'm giving them the A-star. Figuring that out mid-season, I'm like, I've never seen a coach do this. Yeah. Usually they do the Klopp, take a year off. Chelsea, take a year off.
That doesn't take years off.
Take 4 seasons off.
Basically, I understand where that point is coming from. Basically, it's A-star for now, but it's subject to change, and it can drop to an A, right?
Yeah, it can drop to an A.
He's saying the opposite.
But you're saying you're an A, but it's subject to change to an A-star.
What does it have to be for them to go down? And you said subject to change.
Lose the Champions League.
Or lose to United in the FA Cup final.
That was worse in my opinion.
So losing to United.
Either or.
You go down to A.
Yeah, so can I ask you a question? If United were to win the FA Cup against City, win the Carabao Cup like they did, and then come 4th or 3rd, what, are you going to put them to an A?
Nah.
But by your logic, they would have improved, and therefore your grade should improve as well.
It's different. No. It's different. We're seeing. No, hold on. It's different.
For me, it's the Champions League. What I'm basing on.
That's FA Cup doesn't mean nothing to me.
But for City, it doesn't mean nothing.
But hold on. For City, hold on. Oh wait. Hold on. So if they lose against Madrid, is it A or B?
It's A.
No, sorry. A or A star?
It's A.
If they lose against Madrid.
Yeah, that's his point. That's his point.
If they go to the final and they lose the final,
It's A.
it's still A.
Yeah. What, you want me to grade it down even more if they go semi?
I hear that.
Semi's still impressive.
Liverpool Football Club is the next one.
D. Subject to change. D. I had Liverpool winning the league this year. Everyone thinks I'm a Liverpool hater, but it's my grade.
To be fair, before you even finish, I want to have you land, but you're right. Liverpool's expectation this season was to challenge for the league, let alone win the league.
Yeah.
So if you're barely finishing fourth, it has to be below a C, bro.
No.
Last season, you competed for the league until the last game of the season. And
They were in four. No, hold on. They were on the cusp of the quadruple. Forget about the league.
Exactly.
They literally basically played in 4 finals.
They played every game of every cup they were in. The Premier League, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, the Champions League. And now this season, you're telling me they're still competing with you for top 4, cool. Carabao Cup, didn't really make a name for themselves. FA Cup didn't really do much. Champions League, they got battered by you at home. So what would you say? You saying a C?
Yeah.
See if they make top 4, okay. And even then, C.
Top
four for Liverpool in the club era post 2018 is the bare minimum.
I don't think this is. I don't think this one is subject to change. By the way, I think it's still D, even if they get top 4.
If they make the top 4, because here's the thing: Liverpool in the second half of the season have been very good, bro. I think their record in the league is like 3rd or 2nd, bro. Like post February, I think. It's crazy.
I think
of course,
the Everton game since then, basically, I feel like they've been a much better.
Yeah, but they've been on this, and so, yeah.
But I hate,
If you combine it with the lack of signings, which they knew they needed, like certain positions, I agree, it's a D. Because Klopp didn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
They needed midfielders.
You invested in the wrong areas.
Way different areas.
And even like tactically, I feel like there have been moments where
Too rigid.
Klopp's been questionable.
It's not just moments.
Too reactive.
I would say
long spells. You could even.
I would say for most of the season, Klopp has been too stubborn tactically in terms of he was basically just shoehorning the same players that clearly were over the hill, forcing them, basically expecting them to perform the same miracles they did the last few years. And only, I would say, like you said, the Everton game, around the United game as well, too, is where he started finally playing, okay, Trent is going to play this inverted role, and Gakpo is going to be my false 9, and now he has Diaz coming back in. He finally dropped Milner, and Henderson is starting to play a lot less. Now he's finally starting to show his tactical bag. But for most of the time, bro, Klopp was basically entering every single game with the same game plan, expecting this miracles to happen.
Milner, you're my guy. Henderson, you're my guy still. But now Milner's coming off the bench. But I think that's because more like Milner's going to Brighton now. So he's like, get out my club.
He was setting up, let's not get it twisted, Klopp was setting up Trent to fail for most of the season, bro.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah, that's true.
Could argue that, yeah.
And on the top of the half, not even half, most of the players underperformed. Like Van Dijk, Robbo, all midfielders, even the striker.
Of course.
You know what? So I hear it. You know what? I came with C.
Yeah, same. You changed my mind as you said that.
You said you sold it still. It's a D. I can't lie. It's a D still.
Come on, man.
Look, my guy.
Wait, if they make top 4, it will be a C.
Yeah.
C minus.
C, yeah, it's one of those. It's on the cusp. It's on the cusp.
You got the 60% pass mark.
Okay, this team now. Chelsea Football Club, A star. They've had a terrific season from an Arsenal fan. Yeah, I love their season. It's amazing for me.
You said F. You remember what Stephen A said? He's like, this guy shouldn't be buried in jail. He should be buried under the jail. They need to be G. If there's a G section, that's where Chelsea needs to be in, bro.
I think
that's what Ancelotti should be.
I think it's, you look at it on every level as well. I think on a boardroom level, on a managerial level, on a player level. Like, I don't think there's...
Even the fans, y'all failed.
Tuchel was hung out to dry.
Bro, Tuchel has collected most of their points this season. He got sacked how many months ago?
September.
This is what I'm saying. That's what they're literally living off this year. They were celebrating last week getting 40 points. And I know they were celebrating ironically, but do you know how mad that is?
How far the Maya fallen?
We are, how many games left in the season? 3, 4?
3 or 4.
Bro, it's spooky. So for me, like transfers, you can't say they've won. Yeah, they've signed a bunch. How many of them have proven you worth the money? It's like, there's no... It's hard to be a Chelsea fan, I imagine, right now, and really be excited. But I'm sure.
I think they will be excited next season when they have like a proper preseason.
I mean, to be excited about this season.
In
terms of this season, I don't think you could talk to any Chelsea fan and they will talk to you with any form of optimism. It's
of course,
please let this end as soon as possible.
Let me ask you this. I don't know if you had him on when you guys talked about Pochettino to Chelsea or if you have already, but it looks like that's the most likely move. You know Pochettino, obviously, from his time at Spurs. What do you think about that move?
Perfect move. I said what he's got there, he's already got a group of young players in my eyes who they were under 24. They were pretty much signing. Kind of what he walked in on at Spurs. And if you remember at Spurs, he was cleaning up the mess of AVB and Tim Sherwood.
Yep.
I think he cleared out 15 players that first summer. Yeah. So similarly, what Chelsea need, he needs that clear up. Someone who's a strong voice. He's been at PSG. He knows how to deal with a couple of divas and prima donnas.
Do you think it's been...
might not have done it successfully to the way people have said it, but none of them man in that Chelsea dream are Messi, Neymar, or Mbappe. Yes, so I can definitely deal with you, man. I can definitely deal with Mudryk. So I think it's actually the perfect manager, perfect level of experience. And I think Chelsea fans are actually looking at it like, yeah, this is someone we can actually get behind, if that makes sense. And someone who you can kind of see in the medium to long term as well, rather than a short-term fix, if that makes sense.
Well, let me ask you this, though, about
Pochettino. There's more positives than negatives. I think biggest negative, obviously. I've got to delete all my memories, control alt history.
How many Chelsea Tottenham managers have there been now? 4, right?
What? Between the two?
Yeah. AVB,
more than that.
AVB,
you could even go back to Glenn Hoddle.
Oh, yeah.
But then again, hold on. Do you think that in that case, if Poch, and then, let's say the signings he's got, how many signings did Chelsea get, like...
In the January?
Yeah, so far?
I think you just give Poch a number 9 next year.
And a DM, I think they need a goal.
Do you think Poch's got the balls now to like...
Because you in the watch-along, you said he's not a yes man.
100%.
I don't think it's even about Poch, though. I think that squad in general, they have a 30-plus man squad of, like, first-team, like, senior players. The squad is inflated. For me, the question with Poch is... Maybe it's a tired narrative at this point, but is he the guy to get to the finish line? Yeah, and people talk about Ligue 1, but I'm talking in the Premier League. Can you see Poch finishing with more points than Pep Guardiola?
I don't know. That's a big ask. But I say you'll get to that bridge when you get there. Right now, all Chelsea need stability. Yeah. You just need to get back to being competing regularly for trophies and what you were doing every year and being in the Champions League. And at the moment, I think Poch, if you can... With the size of that squad, one of the issues with Spurs, he couldn't compete for cups, didn't have the squad depth. You can't complain about that at Chelsea. Yeah. And the winning mentality thing, I hear it, but if there's one club where it's ingrained to win silverware every year, it's Chelsea. Chelsea, this is probably the first down year they've had where they don't leave with silverware. Usually, if they have a down year, they leave with the Europa, Mourinho, they're leaving with something. So I feel like Poch coming in now, just give him that kind of stability. The rest will come.
I think we had a watch on recently, and it was like Pochettino's been seen as... No, it wasn't. It was on Monday, I think it was. But they said that Pochettino's more of a yes man. They don't see him coming into that Chelsea dressing room and ordering things around. Do you think he's a yes man at your club?
I don't know if yes
not
man
towards
is
the
same.
end,
Nah.
bro. Not
For
towards
me,
the
I
end.
think one of the reasons why we sacked him was because he was kind of kicking up a fuss and making a lot of noise about the issues. Yeah.
Plus, it didn't help with him, bro. He had Levy brought to do it.
Yeah,
no, 100%.
like that's
now he's got Todd Bowley. He's good.
Different beast. Todd Bowley, I reckon Todd Bowley doesn't even care, bro. You know what? Here's the keys. Just do what.
Did he DM you
the
that?
guy wanted to give Potter
Did he DM
the
you
keys.
that?
Yeah. He's like, here's the keys. Here's the keys. I'm gonna go like Faisal's sleep now.
All right, Faisal's gonna be director of football.
Head of
what does Todd Bowley say? What's he like? What's he like? Have you ever spoken to him like one-on-one? Have you ever sent him pictures?
A couple.
What kind of pictures? What do you mean by that? I'm good, actually.
Unanimously was putting Chelsea F.
Yeah, F.
I can't lie. It's this. I feel like it is.
This is not subject to change.
No, it's just the worst ever season. Ever.
From a top
ever by a club. By a top club. It must be.
I would agree. Yeah.
The last time I think is the Chelsea Mourinho one.
Yeah. That's
They
the last
finished
time I
10th
can
that
remember a
season.
team
From like a Premier League team.
No, but he's saying like a top
Yeah,
six,
like a
top
top
seven.
six.
Oh yeah, bro.
When was the last time we saw
no,
top
it's
six side
Chelsea.
this bad?
There has
The
been
last
Chelsea.
time was Chelsea in 15-16.
The Mourinho one. Yeah. And see, before that, it was
Yeah,
Chelsea.
it's
again?
true.
No, it was Chelsea.
Because I was 600 full managers.
Whoa.
Bro,
Okay,
think
wait.
about it
Think
this.
about it. Arsenal, when we finished 8th.
Bro, you finished 8th. Or United finished 7th under Ranić and Moyes. Spurs have finished 8th. They are in what? 15th, 4th, or the what? Not 15th, 14th. They've been 11th. But hey, they're like tied on points for most of the season with 14th, 15th, bro.
600, had full managers.
Yeah, no, they're definitely rock bottom in terms of like worst.
Yeah, bro, it's the worst. 14th, 15th was a stretch.
That's the happiest Chelsea moment for this season was. Like, if they had to pick a compilation towards the end of the season.
Beating Man United at Old Trafford.
They didn't. Oh,
Signing Enzo.
Wizzy's gonna scream the house down.
beating Dortmund, I would
Enzo
say.
getting announced.
Yeah, beating Dortmund, I would say.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good shout.
Yeah.
Didn't they back to AC as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the group stages.
Yeah.
Firing Potter maybe is the happiest moment Chelsea fans
Oh,
have
yeah.
had.
That's actually true. Yeah.
They beat them 5-0 in aggregate.
They beat it with half of AC's team out.
Wow.
So Chelsea going to F on this one. We've got the next club here. We got one person on this table that supports this team. I'm interested. I'm actually intrigued by this one. You know, we're putting Tottenham Hotspur.
I've got a rate in mind. I want to see what you think.
Yeah,
same.
Fuad, I think it's only fair you get given the table. Okay,
I'm giving this a D with the potential to go to an F.
I
if
agree.
we get no
Yes.
European football whatsoever.
that's
So
fine.
I think for the moment, if you look at it from the Conte situation, just looking at that, how that's gone down, whether it was backing him in January, whether it was renewing his contract, whether it was the 100 press conferences where he's belittling the club, it was never really a marriage that was going to end well. But how that's gone, the handling of the squad, in my opinion, the way we've kind of gone out of the Champions League to AC Milan, the way we've gone out of the FA Cup, the way we've gone out of every tournament this year, a typical Spursy way you could look at losing the North London derby, home and away. First time it's happened in how many years?
Oh yeah, you guys have had a number
Ridiculous.
for,
So it's like the amount of embarrassing things that have happened this
it's a
year.
circus at this point.
Bruv, literally. Like, that's the only thing, is the fact that I think Chelsea's circus has been so much louder is the only reason why people aren't talking about Spurs as much.
And the fact is,
But
at one point
you
you
gotta
were
remember,
still top four.
this is a team who started the season. A lot of Spurs fans were saying, we won the transfer window. A lot of pundits were saying this is a guaranteed top four, maybe outside challenger.
Liban had them winning the
couldn't
league.
believe it.
Liban
Trust
had
me.
them with the league.
He wasn't the only one, trust me. He wasn't the only. There's certain man at Sky Sports getting paid, they were doing the same shit. And I was like, why do people have Spurs in the I never had us in the top four, but I thought fifth, sixth, at least. Even now when I see us, I'm like, no, we still seventh, eighth, even that's not enough. Sink lower. Like, if we put it this way, if we don't finish in Europe, it's an F.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, I will take the F.
Which Europe?
As in Conference League.
Any
kind of Europe.
Like, I
Yeah,
don't
it's a
think.
D,
I think there's a potential we could still finish 9th, 10th, whatever it is. But
No. I was just saying, if you finish Conference League, is that an F for you? But no, you don't really.
still kind of stays D.
I feel like as a Spurs fan, why would I take a Conference League? Like, bro, just give me,
bruv,
Is that an F?
give me,
for-
give me
Listen,
once a week team.
I'll
Give me
be-
a
I'll
new
be honest.
manager.
Yeah, new manager.
That's what
let
I
him have his
want.
project
That's
in.
what I want. I would rather know Europe, start fresh, take the F this season, write it off, go again next year.
But you know what? The start of the season, you know what? Why people gave you guys the like title winners? Because of one person, bro.
Conte, yeah.
It was literally because of Conte.
And that was off the back of what he did last year. So it was like, oh, last year he had those scrubs. And it was like, but last year was a new manager bounce. You're coming in. You had Kulusevski and Bentancur come in January. 1 game a week. Like, so you got new signings, new manager, less schedule. Of course it's going to work. Now in the summer, you need to look at that and say, all right, let's bolster the squad. Let's give him more backing. Let's give quality. Not Jed Spence from the Championship. Not overpaying for Richarlison.
Bissouma,
Not
which
Langley
wasn't-
on loan.
Bissouma
Not
wasn't
Fraser
even
Forster.
signed.
Bissouma only getting him on 25 because, let's be honest, he had a case hanging over his head.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
it's not
Correct.
like we won any transfer window.
Correct.
By the time it was like the 3rd week, our business was done. The past 6 weeks, we didn't do anything.
Bro, this is why I'm baffled, bro. You telling me you had, in my opinion, Conte. I rate Conte highly.
Yeah, you like him a lot.
I rate
Liaz doesn't agree with you.
Conte, bro. I've been rating Conte highly. Yeah, you telling me you had one of the best managers in the league at that time. Yeah, he gave you top 4. What beat you guys to it?
To be North London rivals.
That comeback, I think he was 7 points behind you when he.
Yeah.
when-
Yeah,
when-
7 points.
7 points when he first
We
came.
bottled 3 games in a row.
He asked for 2 signings. He got the 2 signings. He got that Paratici or whatever his name.
No,
No,
Paratici.
Paratici was there before.
Yeah, he was there before,
What was it for? Cool. Tell me summertime. You telling me the only person you got me, which is what I wanted, is Perisic. A 30-year-old Perisic.
For free.
For free, act. Where's the other signings I wanted? Are you telling me
Nah, I don't like that. I don't like that.
I don't like that
narrative.
whatsoever.
I don't like that.
This is
I disagree.
tiring.
Conte, hold on.
No, do you know what? I don't like the narrative of
I agree.
Perisic. When
No.
Perisic was signed, he was seen as a good bargain.
No, he
deal.
is. He is. But
a
you knew.
that's a Conte signing right now.
But you knew it was a short term. It was
Yes.
a 1
That's
year.
all Conte ever is, bro.
Exactly.
It's short term.
Well,
Victor Moses, that's young, that's him.
No.
Conte,
But what it
Conte.
is, it's proven quality. He signed on that side. So what it is, all right, I've got one of my guys proven quality, but he's on his last legs. My thing is do the same on the right side. Now go and get the right wing back, because our wing backs were a weak area.
Took you a while to
You
get
go
that
and
Pedro
got
Porro.
Spence after we had Doherty, after we had Aurier, after we had Trippier. Brother, let's get a permanent fix. And they didn't get that.
He didn't mention Royal. I don't think so.
I didn't. He who shall not be named.
Bro, and that's the reason why they play 5 at the back, bro. They've got their centre backs are not capable of playing 4 at the back, bro. And that's
Don't do that. They play 5 at the back because it's Conte, bro. He knows.
that is going
Before the Conte hater speaks, do you remember?
He's the
Do you remember
biggest-
the last time we played 4 at the back?
Go on.
Newcastle 2 weeks ago. How did that go?
What does it happen?
How did that go?
Did you?
How did that go? I agree.
What about Leeds?
I never said Spurs should play 4 in the back of my life. That was never my criticism.
But you said we play.
Let me ask this.
Yeah, but the team is built to play 5 in the back because
Before Jose, we was 5 at the back.
Jose is another story.
Was Jose known for that?
No, he wasn't. He came to the club and saw the mess that it was and said, I have to go 5 because these men are liabilities.
Jose wants his couple of defenders. Who did he get? What, that Rodon guy?
He wanted Ruben Diaz. He asked for Ruben Diaz. Rodon. Can I have Bruno Fernandes? No. You get who did you get? Lo Celso on a permanent. I was like,
Okay. Was Conte back for you? He got Longley.
Conte was backed for me.
Longley, the worst defender in Barcelona.
How was he back?
Because he literally spent 200 million over a window and a half, bro. The hell are we talking about here, man? Conte apologists make me sick. I let you speak for 15 minutes. I didn't interrupt you one single time.
I want to hear the breakdown of these 200 million.
It's my turn. It's my turn.
Let me talk.
It's my turn.
It's my turn now.
Liz, please take the floor.
Antonio Conte apologists make me sick, bro. All you have to do is look at Inter Milan on the cusp of making the Champions League final without this guy, bro. He couldn't get them out of the group stage 2 years in a row against Sheriff, against Shakhtar. Bro, the guy is cooked, man.
Where was Inter last season?
Huh?
Where was Inter last season after he left? Go on.
Bro, they sold all their best players. They sold Lukaku and Hakimi, but now we want to talk about transfers. Come on, bro. Antonio Conte.
Conte literally left Inter because he wasn't back. Sorry. I wanted to.
I agree. Inter financially were a mess, but Inter also fell off not just because of Conte. They lost the Serie A MVP and the best defender in the league in Hakimi. So let's not do that with Inter. But they lost those players, and they're still doing better in cup competitions because this guy, as we all know, is the biggest fraud in European football history when it comes to European knockout football. Conte is the worst. Yeah. Now we go into the league, bro. I agree with you. Anyone saying Spurs were going to win the league was crazy. Liban, that's an awful shout. I thought they would finish top 4.
Yeah.
Bro, that Spurs team, on paper, we can look now, Bissouma. Bro, Bissouma, when Spurs bought him, was considered one of the higher viewed midfielders in the league. They were linked to United, linked to Chelsea. So now to say, Bissouma, he's some nobody. He's a good midfielder. Conte couldn't get the best out of him, bro. Let's see him next season. You look at Richarlison. It's so easy now to say, Richarlison scored 0 goals. When they bought him, Richarlison was seen as one of the best players outside of the top 6.
Yeah. He was.
He was, bro. He was.
To who?
To everybody,
Richarlison.
bro.
No. Richarlison was one of the best players out of the top 6, bro. Come on, man.
It's so easy to
he
look
would
at.
get into the 11s.
Hindsight is 2020, bro. Honestly,
I've
man.
never in my life thought of Richarlison like that. Even when he was at Everton.
You are a notorious Richarlison hater, bro.
He is that level.
Richarlison was cooking at Everton.
Richarlison was a 12 to 13 goal a season striker at a lower level Premier League side. That's it.
So you can't expect him to come to Spurs 12-13.
I thought this was the move where, okay, now we get to see you at an elite European club, what you can actually do. We've seen. Kulusevski was out injured on the right side. People were saying, he's not a right winger. Son Heung-min was off form all season. You couldn't take his spot.
Yes.
Kane played through the middle. You got starts.
Yes.
You didn't do nothing.
So
Richarlison had the opportunity.
Bro, he didn't have that many opportunities. Antonio Conte did not play Richarlison enough, bro. Honestly.
Richarlison hasn't played under 3 different managers.
20 minutes here, 60 minutes here, 30 minutes here, bro.
How many managers has Richarlison played under this season?
How many games has
Richarlison played
in a row this year, bro?
So has everyone else.
Kane is world class,
I'm
bro.
talking about a guy who's coming to a new team, bro.
Right?
Yeah. He's played under Ryan Mason, Conte, and Stellini.
So we might as well make that excuse for all the signings.
What do you mean all the signings?
No, but my whole point is
you
you guys.
they've played under different managers.
No, but I'm saying there's context. Now we're going back to the context argument.
My whole point is, bro, okay, did Conte get backed with world-class players? No. But Conte never gets backed with world-class players, and we all herald him for being able to do miracles. We all call him, he's a floor raiser. He raises the floors of average players. Please raise their floor then. He didn't do shit this year, bro. Spurs played awful football. Yeah. They couldn't win. They got knocked out of every single competition, and Conte is the only manager that can come out of that with his reputation intact. Give me a break, bro.
No, nobody said his
No, he says
he does, bro.
No. He has to take some accountability for a lot of the issues as well. A lot of the issues for the stubbornness, as we were saying earlier on. I can't remember with someone else. He has the consistently playing Eric Dyer, consistently playing Romero, refusing to change his shape mid games when we're falling behind. Like there's so many issues he's to blame for. But that key thing, what you're saying, where raise the floor. Bro, Spurs was already on the floor. Prior to him coming, since Pochettino, we've been on the floor.
He's saying there's bigger problems.
And the problem is, when you say like world-class players weren't brought in, no. we weren't even asking for world-class. We were just asking for good players to come in. Basuma is the only one out of that lot I can actually say, yeah, he can immediately go into the first team lineup. Cool. Every single one of those other players, are you telling me Spurs couldn't have signed them if they didn't qualify for Champions League? If we were in the Europa League, we could sign Richarlison. If we were in the Europa League, we could sign Spence. If we were in the Europa League, we could.
Who are you expecting Spurs to sign, bro?
But this is my thing. The whole thing last
because
summer
they were
was
linked to a Ruben Diaz.
No, but last summer the whole thing was we beat Arsenal to Champions League football. So now we've got Paul. We've got Conte, world-class manager. We've got Paul. We also have the funds. So we should be able, with all three of those things, attract top talents. When I see this, as you said, mid-level talent that he's supposed to raise, I'm like, bro, you lot are once again asking the most from the manager, and then when the manager doesn't do it, it's like,
I always knew that about you.
Come on, I do agree with you. I do agree. It's not like Conte is not the look. I agree with you.
No, you're cooked there.
No, you're cooked.
I'm a Spurs fan.
He knows the scenario more than anyone. but at least with him. But this guy was
trying to make up a punch you. I like it.
Defend Conte.
It's not a question.
Free Conte.
At least he's honest, bro. This guy will make you think that Conte is like faultless for the season, bro. And Conte is the scapegoat, bro. Come on, we all watch the games.
Definitely has blood on it.
So unanimous one is there a D, right?
Yeah.
Back to the stuff. Yeah, they're a D.
Easy.
Conte,
Easy D.
Oh,
Yeah.
that guy makes me sick.
You know one thing I'm realizing here? I need to know what Conte did to you for you to hate him like this.
He rejected Man United.
It's not about, no, hold on.
That's what it was. You wanted him at Man United, and remember?
I just remembered it. It was United fans wanted Conte so badly, and he didn't. And ever since then, he's just been like, nah.
It's not about that, though. It's just that I felt like it's like United fans that I know, right? Every time United would slip up or whatever, they were like, "Oh, look what we could have had! Look what we could have had! Look what we could have had!"
Just call him Liban.
I don't know if Liban was like that.
It was bad.
Every time United slip up, oh, look what we could have had! Look what we could have had! Look what we could have. Everyone with two working eyes could have told you that Conte was there at Spurs for a good time, not a long time, bro. And he gave him the Champions League, but everyone knew he was gonna go crashing and burning, bro. That football is not sustainable, anyways. Bro.
Of course, it was short term. Josie was short term. Everyone, bro,
short term immediate success.
Going to Spurs is always gonna be short term. No, but do you expect someone to last 5-6 years with Levy, fam?
Pochettino did.
No.
But he never came with pedigree. Pochettino never came with pedigree. Conte came with pedigree. Mourinho came with pedigree. That's his point.
But my whole thing is like, a manager can't have long-term success. Look, okay, with the board, of course, it's difficult, but we've seen it happen, bro.
Yeah, and of course, they got to Champions League final.
Yeah, anyways, me and Fuad agree here that the next manager Spurs have to get should not be a short-term manager. It has to be someone with a mid to long-term.
Like you said, if the Graham Potter stocks weren't so low, that would be
if he hadn't just been fired by Chelsea, if he was at Brighton right now, he'd be
Nagelsmann now. How about that then? There we go. Ancelotti, yeah?
Das wunderbar.
What about Ancelotti?
Hey. Nah.
Where do you think Conte goes next?
Wait. Stop. You see what he said? Why not taking Carlo Ancelotti?
He's washed, man. He's more the same of the. It's more of the win now.
No, hold on. So wait.
No, it's more of the.
What's that bummy phrase they always uses? It's a problem with
It's a problem with us.
So Carlo Ancelotti, if I don't want it,
it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it.
What's going on here?
Why are you looking at me? I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything, bro. He's the one who said it.
No.
I'm not even driving the car, bro.
You fat piece of bacon.
You fat piece of bacon.
Hey, this is the craziest strip I've ever seen in my life, bro.
Ancelotti's past it, man.
Yeah, he's past it, man. Okay, listen to the next team here. West Ham. What we got for West Ham? This is a difficult one.
This is straight.
But then in the semi-final of the Conference League, I'm gonna factor.
I don't give a shit, bro. They're out here trying to fight relegation.
But they're not fighting relegation now.
The expectation from last season. Where were they last season?
I think they were top 8. They were top 8. They were coming off consecutive top 8 finishes.
They were top 8.
Okay, if they win the Conference League and get Europa League, isn't that a successful season?
They're in the Conference League, not in the Europa League.
But if they win the Conference League, you get automatic.
That would improve their season, but it doesn't change 38 games.
That would maybe go to C. But you telling me you finished top 8 back to back? I think there was back-to-back finishes.
So 8th on the 8th, yeah.
You bought Scamacca, who was a very highly talented striker. You bought Paqueta, another highly. He said he's better than Odegaard, fam.
Hey, looking all right now.
Well, he's after you today. What happened?
He says he's better than Odegaard. You telling me you bought all of these signings now? Are you telling me you're out here trying to fight relegation? Come on.
Are they fighting relegation now?
Huh?
Are they fighting relegation now?
They just recently got out of that.
Are they in the semi-final of the Conference League?
Yes. And don't forget, they signed Aguero too. Aguero was highly...
So wait. So what was the expectation going into the season?
Another season of fighting for Europe.
If they win the Conference League and they get to
That
Europe
will change it. That's like...
You said
That's why
fighting
I
for
don't
Europe.
see.
But they're
Question,
fighting
though.
in Europe right now. Fighting for Europe and fighting in Europe is very hard.
When West Ham finished in those top 8 finishes, was it an overachievement?
Massive. But then West Ham also...
That's a very good point. With the squad they
Of
have.
course, but
So the
Fuad,
thing
when you
is
say
this-
they were intending to build off of that in the signings that they
I
made,
agree with
intended
that,
that they
yeah,
were
yeah.
supposed to...
That's what I said.
So I hear that, but the thing is, I think because if the season now finishes and they're, I don't know, in 12th,
And they win the Conference League.
and they win the Conference League,
They
it's a
succeeded.
C,
It's
right?
a C. But if they don't win the...
If they don't...
No,
It's all
It has
dependent.
to be a B.
No,
That's
that's
a B.
Whoa.
How is it a B?
No, it's not a B.
They've won the Conference League. That's silverware for West Ham. They haven't won silverware
That's
since
true.
since
It's
how-
first
God knows
European
how
trophy
long.
as well.
A first
Okay, but that's a
European
big one, bro. One trophy.
Hey, I
okay,
can't lie.
maybe
You
a
might have a point, you
Maybe
know.
a trophy would change it
And the fact that
massively,
it's
bro.
back-to-back European semis as well, though. For a club like West
Oh,
Ham.
Hold on.
Back to back. Europa League to Conference League. But if they did Conference League, Europa League, yes.
True, it's
How
true.
you gonna downgrade? How you downgraded that?
True still, yeah.
How you downgraded?
Let's see,
I tried,
Let's see,
man.
let me ask you this. Let me ask you
By the way, they're 2-1 up against in the 90th minute against AZ Alkmaar.
They were down
so
1-0.
AC hype.
AZ.
AZ. Look at this uncultured guy, man.
Hey, so listen. All I'm saying.
He only knows
all I'm
Alaves,
saying.
so he don't know AZ.
All I'm saying is a D. If they win it, you know, fair enough. Like you made a good point. You made a good point. Maybe final.
But let me ask you this. No, I hear what you're saying, but I disagree.
first
'cause
trophy, actually.
let's say if Southampton, who look like they're, because I think it's easy to say now that West Ham don't look like they're going to get relegated. But let's say Southampton,
Yeah.
20th in the league, they were in a European semi-final. Would you then say they're
No,
a
because
C
they got
season?
relegated.
Huh?
Because they got relegated.
Relegation is
No, but like they haven't been relegated yet. My point is though, like that.
Oh,
if
they still have a chance.
But say they win. Say they were 20th in the league at this current moment. They're not relegated, but they were in the same situation as West Ham, and that they could potentially win a trophy, which is huge for Southampton, and they could potentially be in Europe. Right now, they're at an F. Let's say if they win that trophy, they jump up to a B.
No, but where did Southampton finish? They still finished 20th.
Yeah, let's say
Then that's relegation.
okay, so what's their ranking? How much is it?
It has to be an F. They've been relegated from the
even
Premier
though they won a trophy.
But they're in the Championship now. That's not the expectation. The expectation is to stay in the Premier League.
But West Ham's expectation at the beginning of the season wasn't to be anywhere near the
but
bottom 10.
But the league supersedes any other these trophies.
Of course. So that's why I'm saying they are in 12th. They've been fighting relegation all season. I can't say they're a B, bro.
But it's their first European trophy.
No, bro.
It would be Southampton's first European trophy too, bro.
He just told you.
No, I know that because
just told you.
he's saying even though he got relegated, it'll be Southampton's first European trophy. But they've been relegated from the Premier League. The league is always the priority for any
Confirm
team.
the relegation, that's the thing.
It's the confirmed relegation. That's the league is the
These
priority
are-
for all of these
The
teams.
relegation isn't there, that's the thing.
Exactly.
And it's the first
And like
European
you
trophy.
said, and going back to that,
Southampton's
I'll be
expectation
honest
during
with
the
you,
season?
One thing I will say is I feel like David Moyes at January at one point was a dead man walking. I think
Yeah,
it was safe to
100%.
say
He was.
everybody in the squad would have even said
Wanted him out.
yeah, most fans wanted him out. People would have said the players weren't playing for him, and I find it rare that boards actually stick with managers. I like the fact that West Ham stuck with him because you got us here, get us out of it. But the fact that he's been able to turn it around as well and actually get a good run of form going when it's business time of the season.
and he's competing in
Crunch
Europe.
time of the season.
He's doing Thursday night football as well.
And that's the thing.
Thursday night
It's-
football.
No.
No.
And the thing is, I get you. I get you.
I hear you.
But I feel like at the
100%,
crunch time of the season, they've managed to get the right results to get them out of whatever mess that you're saying they would have been in. But then now, if they add the European trophy on top of that, I think that's
That's a B.
You know what? If you
B.
finish
But
12th,
Thursday night football they're playing, and now they're playing Sunday
say
with
C+.
the squad they
C+
have.
I wanna go.
But with the
Yeah, it
squad
can't be
they
B,
have,
bro.
they should no way be competing
There's
for
no way
Europe and
West
Europe.
Ham. There's
That's
no
the
way
thing.
West Ham have had as good a season as United if they win the
Start of
Conference League, bro.
Start of the
But-
season,
but-
though, you would have said they were one of the favourites for the conference.
Different.
Of course,
No,
bro.
wait.
Yeah.
Stop. You can't compare it just because it's BA. It's different expectation for each team.
No, but you're of course it is. So you're
different
saying
perspective for
that
each team.
season for them is as good
No,
a
I dis-
season as
bro,
United.
No. I disagree. He's not B for me.
Yeah.
But
If
you
they
can't-
win if they win
I
the
think if they
conference.
win the
you can't
Europe,
compare
I
the
think if they
rating.
win the Conference League, it's a C for me. It's a C. Because,
Okay, so
bro,
it's-
all throughout this season, everyone, and you're lying if you disagree, when you saw the signings that West Ham made and remembered what they had done the previous 2 seasons, the expectation was the trajectory would be
You
forward.
thought you thought they were doing a Newcastle, not Newcastle,
Yes.
like at Brighton.
Yes.
They were,
Agree.
bro.
Yeah.
3 big signings.
No, I
Now,
know they're
just
three big
because they've
senses.
played AZ Alkmaar and they've played, I don't even know the teams that they're playing in the Conference League, bro. Anderlecht. For me, West Ham have 3 times those teams' budget, bro. That for me is not putting them at the same level in terms of what a Man United has done this season. Not in my opinion, bro.
If we're doing subjects
I think they're a
Subject to
D
change.
with subject to change to a C. That's my opinion.
Okay, I'm saying C. What do you say? Because I'm doing subject to
So,
change.
hold on.
with
So
that
I'm doing
D
subject to change.
subject to a C.
So
if
you've
they
got
win the
C now
conference.
Yeah, but subject to change.
to B.
No, if they don't win that Europe, they're going to D.
So you think?
But then what the whole thing that we've been agreeing on, bro, is that the trophy can make them increase.
Yeah.
Not winning it would not make them decrease. So if that's the
It's
case,
just
then you would
because-
have them as a D
Because
as well.
because the last 2 seasons they've qualified for Europe. If this season they've also qualified for Europe again, then I have to put them because that's expectation.
But they haven't done it yet. Our whole thing, right?
No,
is-
it's subject to change.
So then therefore you should have it as a D.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'll put it as a D. I'll put it as a D then.
And on top of that, but you keep saying Europe, bro. It's going from Europa to Conference League, bro. It's not the only way around. I hate this.
Hey, these Real Madrid guys, yeah.
Okay.
Trying to control who's doing what. in
How about
Europe.
this? How about this? If West Ham are if we're in Europa League this season, would they be favourites?
Huh?
Well, if West Ham were in Europa League this season, would they be favourites?
No.
Would they be
No,
favourites next
no,
season?
no,
Would they be
no.
favourites the season after?
What?
No, but my point is in the Conference League, yes, so they should win it, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Yes.
What?
The West Ham should
They
win the Conference
Conference League, but
Yes, they should win the
they
Conference
should be
League.
one of the favourites in my
Have you
eyes.
seen? hold on, hold on.
Absolutely, bro.
Have you seen the other semi-final tie?
Final,
Florentina against Basel.
Yeah,
What? Come on,
yeah,
Act.
yeah. See, no, they should.
This is a competition that didn't
West
even
Ham, bro.
exist
Come on.
3 years ago.
You said
bro.
it before.
No.
But David Moyes has been overachieving with this team.
Yes, and
Yes.
he would have gotten
And the
B's
thing
and
was is-
A's, bro.
The thing was he was overachieving, but as he said, with this summer's edition, and when you overachieve one season, it's cool. When you overachieve in back-to-back seasons, it's a bit like, oh, you lot are capable of doing this. Then you add the quality, and it's a case of you should go up a level.
Okay.
The fact that they were so far down, I get it. The reason why I'm giving it the D potential to a C is because you've recovered it at the right time of the season, and there's a potential for a European trophy.
Okay.
If that European trophy don't come,
We can stick to we can.
still a-
Yeah, it's
Okay.
All right,
still
we'll move West Ham up to a D. All right, here's an interesting team. Well, they're not interesting. I think they've pretty much solidified where their grade could be. Newcastle United.
That's A.
A star.
star.
A star, man.
I go
A
star.
star. I think the expectation this season wasn't even for Champions League.
No, this season the
I think it was
expectation
basically
for Newcastle
Europe,
for
just
me
Europe.
was Conference League.
Yeah.
I said if they get Conference League, because last season when Eddie Howe took over, they were 20th.
Mm.
Then he had that drastic jump up with January, those signings, humble signings, I'll call them. The Targets, the Trippiers, Wood,
Burns,
the
yeah.
Burns. He said, you know what?
You don't like the way he said
Let me
that.
just get Premier League survival. He ensured that 12th place, I think they finished,
Yeah,
and then you thought,
under him, they were, I think, they had the fourth best record in the league, bro, from when he took over. They
So
would
you're
have
thinking,
yeah.
coming
It was
into
crazy,
so coming
man.
into the new season, you're thinking, if they push the European spots, that's a nice. But if they fall away, you can't blame them.
Yeah.
When you saw how they blistered to top four, the
And the
Carabao,
football they've been playing
the
as well.
football they've been playing, defensively, how solid they've been. We're saying Conte was raising levels of players. Howe has done that with countless players, bro. That whole lineup, you can kind of go through it. The reinvention of Joe Linton, Joe Willock, all of a sudden getting a bounce in the step second half of the
Murphy.
season. Murphy.
Longstaff.
Bro, so you could go through the whole team. Dan
He's
Shaw,
making these average players
literally
beyond the leagues.
lifting them a level. And then the Carabao final, you get there. And I said, getting there for me is an achievement. I always feel like you have to feel a taste of heartbreak before you taste success.
Yeah, bro.
That was going to be the lesson learned. The thing I said, I remember on stoppage, I was saying, if they let their heads drop after that and the season goes out, they finish 9th, disaster. I would have put them D.
Yeah.
But because they bounced that back, they used that as motivation and said, "Nah, you know what? Top 4, we can claim this." And now you look at them.
Yeah, top 4.
I'll be disappointed.
Top
if
4 in the cup, runners up in the
But
cup
they-
finals.
bro,
But
they-
we used
fantastic.
out of A.
No, I agree.
Had even changed now.
Yeah,
Okay,
100%.
fair.
I just clocked.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
aim was to get Europa, just Europe. in
Yeah, just
general.
Europe. Yeah.
Now they go, bro. They
They've
see
surpassed
the 1, 2, 3, bro. They were
Yeah.
the Champions League, bro.
Yeah.
100%,
Remember what
no.
one guy said, man? They haven't solidified top 4 yet. He's chasing. He's behind Newcastle.
Newcastle, I feel more confident in them making top 4 than United, to be
making it.
honest with you, bro. They
Yeah.
they play better football than us, bro.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the reality
No, of
situation.
course.
I want to ask you something, though. You said that you need to taste failure to have success. When does that clock in for you, bro? We've been waiting, bro. You're not fully
seeing
in,
it
bro.
from experience. This is the thing. It's like, I'm waiting for that moment still to come.
You've been tasted, bro. You ain't full yet, bro.
This guy, I know.
You gotta just let me get my show and just let it ride out.
Passed on number 1, man. Poor guy, man.
And the thing is, he said it 5 minutes ago as well. So he held it. He held it
I
in.
didn't want to interrupt him. I didn't want to interrupt him.
Let flow.
He was waiting for it. He was licking his lips.
No, that was Wizard Tabs Busquets.
I was gonna.
What was he doing?
Bro, he was looking at like abs. Those that tactical.
Hey.
That's me with Leeds sometimes. I'll be honest. But listen.
BTS.
Yeah, watch out for
Next
my next
video.
watch out for my next TikTok. It'll be me and just Leeds, and that's it.
I will not be there.
No matter what. Newcastle fans, let us know what you guys think. Also,
I mean, what do you think? It's A-star.
It's a star, bro.
No, there's A-star, but also decide what you think on our tier list. All the fans, do you think we've been fair in our tier list so far?
Yo,
do you think
this
been
next team.
Go on.
I've heard,
You say the team name. You say the team name for them.
I've heard so much. I want to hear what you people say, because the past 2 weeks I've been heard about Gary O'Neill. I want to see where
Who speaks like that?
No, I want to see where people.
So I mean, me.
Boom. They're gone.
That's a C.
What?
C.
You think so?
They came to the league.
Absolutely not.
That's an A for me.
Yes.
Whoa!
I agree. I would go B or A. B or A.
A. Do you know why?
Are you crazy?
What did you say?
Is it my turn?
Bro, I
Is it my
agree
turn?
with you. This is C, 100% C.
It's my turn.
Man said A.
It's my turn.
It's my turn now.
Go on.
The reason why I say A, start of this season, when we saw all 20 teams, if there was one team I asked you that's guaranteed for relegation, you would have said Bournemouth.
Yes.
I would say Nottingham
100%. Oh, no, I don't think so, because you would have seen their signings
Yep.
and said, I recognize a
Do
few
you know why?
names.
Do you know the only thing of Forest before I let you finish? They signed too many man, and I've seen that
It was
happen.
FM mode.
These guys, but
But it happens too many times. They
with
can't
Bournemouth,
gel.
the thing is, Bournemouth, they didn't sign anyone, and
Yes.
everyone knew, or everyone said them coming up, this team is weaker after the window than they were from the
Yes.
team that came up.
And-
People
and-
said Bournemouth got worse from when they got promoted.
And what you have to remember. Do you remember Scott Parker after the third game of the
you're right.
season?
9-0.
Do you know what?
Yeah, this
I
squad is
completely
not good enough to be in this league.
Okay.
How he speaks.
Gary O'Neill came
That's how he
in.
speaks in Belgium.
Yeah. Caretaker switched it all up completely and worked with the bare minimum. Go ask him to name you 6 Bournemouth players. He can't.
Go on. 6 Bournemouth players. Hey, Faisal.
The wallahi, I was waiting. I knew, because
Did his research.
I expected him.
Why is it always you?
He's a football romance.
I'm a good guy, man. They want to pay me out to be a bad guy. I'm
The
just
swan of San
I expected him to give me this.
The
Gary-
swan of Algiers.
I expected him.
the angel of Algiers. Hey, the archives coming out soon.
alliteration, man. It's all about the alliteration.
They don't get it. They don't get those uni degrees, bro.
I expected him. I expected him. I expected
They're just giving anyone a podcast like these days. Sorry, you're trying to learn.
I expected him to give me this Gary O'Neill prop.
Yeah.
Not you.
You bum.
He's the CEO of Gary O'Neill.
Real men, that
People
is.
forget,
Yeah.
No, do you know what?
Premier
Do you know
League
what?
OG.
I was on your side. I've defected now.
I want to hear what he has to say.
You're to our right.
No,
What's
but
it
the thing
say?
is, they were
I completely forgot the narrative.
20th, and now they're like 12,
cool.
13.
I completely forgot
and they're
that.
actually playing good football. You look at the players like
Not 12,
Lerma,
13,
Billing.
not 12,
Otara.
13. Chill out, chill
Go
out,
look at the
chill
tape.
out, chill out, chill out.
Otara, the January signing. You look at Solanke, who was deemed a flop and not good
Philip
enough.
Billing has been
Went
amazing
to the
this season, by
championship,
the
got
way.
his confidence this season. And then that back line, I'm sorry, Neto. Big boss in the back there. That Gary O'Neill has built a solid team there, and I'm sorry, he's got them playing decent football and they're doing the job.
Where they in the league?
Where they in the
Bro,
league?
they're 14th, bro.
No, is that
they're
so 20th to 14th?
hear
6
me out.
places
No,
jumped up.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm on their side, I'll be
Okay.
honest. So you got to change my mind again.
Comfy.
Okay.
So change my mind
I
again.
think they won 6 games last month, bro. I think they
Okay,
won every game.
now watch this. Now watch
Watch
this.
this.
Now
Watch
watch
this.
this.
Flip it on there.
I'll flip you on it. Watch this. watch
Before
this.
you start, where do you have them in this
Yeah, C.
I've got C.
But then
I've
I
got
changed
C.
my mind now too
I've got
because you
C.
guys
Hear me out.
confused
Hear me
me.
out. He said, Gary, no, I get it. Well done. You did your thing. Fine. People forget. People only. This is recency bias. Wallahi. They only look at the past 3, 4, 5 weeks. He won a couple of games. All right. Go back to now.
games all season?
Hear me out. Go back now to where you came from. Cool. You came. Scott Parker got sacked after that game. He had a nice little unbeaten streak. He drew a couple of games. Won a couple of games. People said, cool. Bournemouth are back. Cool. After that, what happened? He lost 9 out of 10 games. Gary O'Neill himself. It wasn't Scott Parker. It was Gary O'Neill. He went on a stretch of winning 1 game in 15 games. One game in 15. You're telling me this is the manager? This is manager of the month.
He's like 1 in 15.
Let me check.
I'm not. But
checking right
I
now.
checked it. This is.
I'm checking right now.
This is straight
What month
facts.
was it in?
Faisal.
What month was it in?
SFF ain't hitting, bro.
This is straight. This is straight facts.
ain't
Faisal.
it?
I don't know about that one. I'm not seeing it.
I'll tell you.
What, 1 win in 15?
In league
When was
games.
it?
League games.
League games,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's looking
I'm
at the
literally looking at the Premier
Check
League
it.
app right now.
I'll show you.
I don't see that
He's
one.
gonna show you
When
last
is it?
season.
January.
There's a win right. No.
So wait, you got.
That's what said a Rocky app.
There's a win right there.
January.
Are you ready?
There's
So
one right
January, I know what you're talking about. But January, he was playing Chelsea, he was playing United. I'm seeing City, I'm seeing
1-15.
Spurs.
All right, guys, we're gonna read this one out. Okay, go on then. Go on then.
1L, 2L, 3-4.
Wait, why is skipping past these games?
No, that's cup. That's cups. Act.
No, that's not cup. That was Premier League. They beat Everton.
Fine.
Ah, you see? Fake fact phase!
Okay,
He's
that's
back!
one. That's one.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That's
we got him!
That's
It's
one.
a Rocky uncle. You know?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Go.
But they beat Wolves there. Why did you score that?
Okay, how many games? How many? Okay, you
Hold on,
only,
was
you
it-
only
was
highlighted-
it-
Can I count?
You only highlighted.
That was 3 wins and 12.
Can I count? Where do you want me to start from?
Start with it. Start with it. Go on.
The Southampton game, yeah?
Southampton, yeah, go on.
Go on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then they beat Everton.
That's
So-
one win on 4.
Okay,
Go on.
one of them, yeah. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then they won against Wolves.
I
So
go on. I keep going. That's
So
two
it's
more.
already not one
Two
win in
more
15 then,
So it's
bro.
already not 1 win in 15,
That's
it's
two
2
more
wins in
there's
13.
two more hours
So
against
then
Man,
it's 2
Man
wins.
City and Arsenal.
So
by the
it's
way.
2 wins in 15.
2-15, that's fine. What? Listen.
Fake
My
facts,
My
Faisal.
point is, listen. However, my point was still right. Hear me out. My point was still right. I don't care. My point is, listen. You're telling me.
Rocky, yeah.
You're
You
trying
had
to
that
judge him
straight.
off a rough patch in
No,
the
no,
middle.
no, no, no,
And
no.
the reason why
Whoa,
I'm
the
giving him
rough
extra...
patch. He out here losing against relegation. His
I'll
last
show
4
you a
wins.
rough patch.
Hear me out.
I'm here.
You've
Go,
got experience. You've got experience
Go,
of
go,
that.
go, go.
You've got experience. Though. His last 4 W's. Who was it against? Relegation, battle. Relegation, battle. Relegation, battle. And you bummy ass team.
Hold on, relegation battle.
Hear me out.
Are you
Hear me
saying
out.
that
That's
6
my point.
pointers.
Yeah,
Hear me
Well
out.
done
Hear me
for
out.
winning your
My
6
point is-
pointers.
only podcast
well
ever-
done for winning the
My
games that
point is-
actually matter. Well
My
done for
point
winning
is-
the games that can separate
Listen,
me between the
hear me
teams
out.
next to me. Well done.
you know what I
You've
can't
done
do
the
this
right
podcast.
thing and you lost
You know
to the
what I
big
can't do
boys.
this
What
podcast.
was it clock?
You know what, class?
Yeah. Casual.
No, I've clocked about this, yeah? They take one word and they run. Bro. Let me talk! Where's this interrupting thing?
Okay.
You know what? They were right, you know?
I'm not gonna interrupt you, but I just want to ask you one question. What was Bournemouth's expectation coming into the Premier League this season?
To survive.
And where are they right now? They're 13th.
They're 13. Okay.
So have they surpassed the expectations?
They've surpassed expectation.
Give me a C.
But no. Hear me out. It's a combination of a couple of things. It's a combination of them surviving. That's fine. Otara, I agree with you. Great signing.
Yeah.
He actually, for me, changed everything about it.
100%.
100% changed everything about it. But then you have to look at the other external stuff, yeah? The other team's been shit around them, okay? It's not like it was fucking only them, bro. Leicester's doing shit. Everton is doing shit. Who was it? Forest is doing shit. Leeds is doing shit. There is other teams doing shit. If you're telling me everyone played to their level, is Bournemouth staying up? Yes or no? Answer my question right a second.
We might as well
Answer my question right a second.
We might as well
Akhi.
put United C
Answer my
then
question right a
because
second.
Liverpool were awful.
If
Chelsea
everyone
were
played
awful.
to their levels, is Bournemouth still staying? Is Bournemouth still 14?
If everyone plays at their level, who's going to win the Premier League?
I guess we'll never know.
Yeah.
Guess we'll never know, bro.
I'm not giving. That's no way. They A. That's no way.
It can't be C,
I'm
though.
leaving that.
It cannot be C, though.
Okay, then we compromise on the B. I'm not giving them an
What do you
A.
mean? It's 3 or 1.
Yeah,
3-1.
I won. That's
no way. They A.
I defected.
How you?
I defected. I'll be honest. I started off C, and then after I completely forgot about it. Do you know what? No, yeah, listen. That's
I don't like that
He's looking at
argument.
you,
Faisal, all jokes aside, though, I don't like that argument of like.
Yeah. Oh, I like that
doesn't
one.
listen to-
He said you listen to respond. You listen, but you don't. But no, you just wait for the other person to finish speaking. That's
Faisal,
what it is. Yeah.
all jokes aside, though, I don't like the logic of everyone around them was awful, so bro, they had to survive. If that's the case, United, then we should put them at C or whatever, because Liverpool were bad, Spurs were bad, Chelsea
No,
were
because I
bad.
completely
You
forgot.
cannot be
Yeah.
in control of your competition, Faisal. You still have to win those games, bro.
True.
And
It's
the
true.
reality
It's
is
true.
that you can check the receipts, you can look at people's tweets, you can look at media's predictions. Everybody accepted that Bournemouth were a worse team that came up than the one that had been promoted.
I agree.
And everyone agreed that all throughout the season, it's been Southampton, Bournemouth, and who's the third? Southampton, Bournemouth, who's the third?
Facts.
It's always been Everton, Leeds, but it's going to be Southampton and Bournemouth. They are staying up comfortably, and for me, B is the bare minimum. I would lean more towards B plus A.
That's fair. Has he been spitting for you?
A. No. Okay, listen, he's making points, but
is fantastic.
that's no way I'm giving Bournemouth an
fantastic.
A. Yes, I agree with you. Everyone had them to, what is it, 20th, 19th, that's fine. I was one of them. I agree. But you
Context.
can't.
Now it's context again.
Now play into the same way he was
Arsenal.
Arsenal team or the other one. There was one more that we did context to. Which one was it? Other teams. Was it Spurs or a different team?
Spurs, because
Come on.
there's context.
That's context to it now, all right? I agree with what you're saying, but other teams, we're shit, bro. That's context to it. Yes, Gary O'Neill, bro. I'm not giving him this little manager of the year. I can't believe we are giving him manager of the year shout. No, well, like, you know this. Everyone is saying that. This brother is saying that.
Manager of the year.
I said I want to give him credit.
I shout. You know what it is?
Manager of the year.
You know, he heard one thing and he ran.
No, but that's what we do apparently. So.
Wait. Nobody said manager of the year.
Bro, that's people saying manager of the year.
Nobody said that.
It's Randy Orton again, man. I swear it's Randy Orton, man.
Voices.
I'm not. I'm not. Listen.
No one realistically has Gary O'Neill in their top
I'm not
three.
going to continue.
100%.
Yeah, no one has him in their top
continue. Honestly, I'm not going to. If
You
Gary,
want to compromise on the B?
I'll compromise and B. I'm no way giving Bournemouth. Big up Bournemouth. Big up Bournemouth.
I don't like the way
yeah?
you said Bournemouth.
Big up.
So hold on,
big up Gary
Faisal, can I ask you a
O'Neill.
question? What would Bournemouth have had to do this year for them to be an A?
Finish 10th.
Bournemouth this season.
Yeah.
To finish. At least, yeah.
To get an A. To be they had to
Finish
be
at least
An A.
Yes.
Surpass the, top, yeah. Exactly.
10, top 10.
A top 10. Bro, they only went to 14th 2 weeks ago. They were fighting relegation throughout the whole season.
Yes.
How am I complimenting them? What, bro? How am I giving them an A for something they did in game week 34?
Because the season's
Because
long.
that's the whole point. It's a relegation battle.
How am I? No, I'm not. No.
And this isn't the finished article, is what we're saying. But more than likely now, if they remain safe, you have
Safe
to give them
height.
an A. And if they finish safe,
Hey,
I'm sorry.
Cam, the way they're
14th or
butchering your word,
13th.
bro, is crazy.
Safe height.
Fuad. You okay? Where'd you go with this one? Bournemouth.
I'm sticking with my A.
I'm willing to compromise with a B, but I'm more towards A, to be honest with you.
So okay, give me your final one, please.
I think it's either, if I go B, then it's 2v2, and I don't know what the hell we're going to do with that, so we'll just go.
How'd you know it's 2v2?
No.
You have already said you're on his side.
No, okay. Say B for the time being. I want to see. No.
Just stick with A.
Just say B. I want to see what happens. I want to see what happens.
I want Faisal to lose. Please do this
Yes,
for
come
me.
on, man.
Please.
Go. What Arab say?
Hey, I'm Kabil, bro. There you go. You let him get you that. I'm Azir. Hey, if you know, you know. But
They don't know. Just say.
if you don't know, you don't know. But if you know, you know.
So you're gonna be, yeah?
Just say B. I want to see what happens.
I'll go B.
I agree, bro.
I'll go B.
That's it. I agree.
I
So I
go.
said it.
I go. Hey, so where are we going with this now? Are we doing rock paper scissors?
No. You know what it is?
No, go on. I'll compromise.
Should we compromise with him?
I'll compromise.
We'll allow. We'll let you off.
But
We'll let you win.
honestly,
you
I
win
think
this
A+,
round.
But we'll go B.
Will you
Just.
Bournemouth fans, let us know. What do you
I'll go
agree with?
B.
Do
I'll
you
go
think you
B
should be in
this-
B or A?
I said A, you know.
Aston Villa. This is an A.
You know what it is? This is A.
This is A.
This is A, bro.
What?
I would go B.
Ah, no,
I would
no,
say
no,
Unai
no,
Emery's
no,
job
no.
is an A, but the season before Emery still existed, and bro, it doesn't look like they're gonna finish in European places. And Aston Villa are a club that, for me, I didn't go into the season expecting to get relegated. They were just awful at the beginning of the season. I've been consistent with the fact that Villa are right now where they are. This is where Villa should be. The money they spent, the players that they have, the
Context?
size of the
But
club,
context?
the money that they have, they belong here. I would go B.
I disagree.
But you said context.
Stop,
But you-
I've given you context.
stop.
No, but the
Yeah.
context of the
Unai
season.
Emery, his season is an A-star in my opinion, but the season existed before.
No,
him.
I disagree. If you asked every Aston Villa fan, beginning of the season, when they had Gerrard, they were trying to survive relegation.
I would have said European push.
I would say top 10.
No.
Top 10.
First couple
Yeah,
of
top
weeks.
10.
No.
Yeah, top
That
10,
was
top
no.
10, bro.
That
Top 10,
was
bro.
that was last season heading into towards this season. However, after the first couple of game weeks, bro, they were trying to survive.
No, hold on.
United,
Gerrard took over what, halfway through the season last year?
Yeah.
that's what I said.
When he
Towards
had his oral.
heading towards end of this season,
And people were
the
naturally
expectation-
saying, okay, now we
the
got a full
expectation-
season.
No, because
No, but you're doing the start of ex-season expectations and you're changing it now to the 4 weeks in. That's what you're doing. No.
That's not what I'm
I
doing.
caught you there.
6 weeks.
No.
8 weeks.
Start of season expectations and how they change 4
Thank
weeks
you.
later. That's different.
The reality is,
start of
Faisal,
season
yeah.
expectation before a ball was
Context.
kicked. We expected top 10.
Yeah.
The reality
You're
is,
trying to pick and
Faisal,
choose when you
not
want to throw
survival,
context.
not
I'm
survival.
watching you closely.
Context
brother.
matters, but after
Context hype.
after 8 weeks in, Steven Gerrard got sacked.
Steven Gerrard is one of the worst managers in Premier League history.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
But at that point, when he got sacked, before he got sacked, but they were trying to survive, but they were trying to just pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that they finish 17th, 18th. Man. They were trying to survive act. And when he got sacked, bro, in my opinion,
Deserves A star.
A star.
I agree.
Wait,
Yeah, United's job is an A star.
But then again, you have to give credit to United what he's done to Aston Villa. Watkins, Mings, bro, Mings.
Mings, bro.
Mings, McGinn.
No, Watkins.
Buendia.
The left back.
Moreno,
yes.
they bought.
That's a good signing. 29-year-old.
But
Where's
that's
Villa on the table right now?
They are.
But there's eight. That's a combination of not just the manager of the team itself.
Right.
Yeah. You're saying Gerrard had a good enough team that he should have been battling top 10, top 9 anyway.
Exactly. The only sign which he made was Moreno, bro. The players, Gerrard had the players. So why were the players not performing then?
Because he's an awful manager.
a
That's
shit
what I'm telling you, though. I agree.
But that's my point. That's a combination of both the manager and the team. That's why the team exceeded as well. Bro, put them A. You telling me? Hold on. Whoa,
They're not A for me, bro. They're B for me.
You just saw something, didn't it?
Well, I just said something. You know, I'll give it to you.
I'll
give it to you. No, you saw something. Oh, I thought.
No, this is where you looked at the screen and that's what
You're telling me Bournemouth and Aston Villa had a similar season in terms of expectation and success?
Yeah, similar. Yeah, I would say so. Similar,
Yeah,
bro.
because Bournemouth was meant
Bro,
to stay.
Bournemouth are so small compared to Aston Villa, bro, and no one they're
Bournemouth shouldn't even be in the Premier League.
yes, thank you.
Like they
That's
shouldn't be
actually
here.
true.
Thank you.
Size-wise, nothing. They shouldn't be here.
Aston Villa are mainstay.
Are you A or B?
I'm A.
Okay, first.
Yeah, why am I gonna him? We're all for this 3 A's. You're B,
I
right?
go B for Aston Villa.
Okay, let's just move on.
I'm gonna go bold. We're gonna go A. Yeah, Aston Villa is an A for me. I think they've had a terrific season. Terrific since Emery has come in. I think.
Where do you think before we move on? Where do you think United is? I get it. Top 3 best managers is Eddie Howe, Arteta, Pep. I get it. Calm. Who's in your opinion is the one coming up?
Fourth or
Fourth or fifth?
Him, and then De Zerbi next.
No, Marco Silva.
No.
Wallahi,
I don't agree.
I was just about to.
I don't agree.
because Marcus Silva's drop. But Marcus Silva's drop off.
I know what you're trying to do. You punch me now. I'm watching you.
But Marcus Silva's drop off.
Small Borough coming up.
But Marcus Silva's drop off
Different time,
has affected him in my opinion.
I'm very
The drop-off of
interested in knowing
Fulham
where
has
this guy puts
affected
Fulham,
him a
to
little
be
bit,
honest
to be
with you,
honest.
bro. 'Cause if he puts Fulham above Bournemouth, bro.
Is it Fulham now?
No. I think he still had a good season. But
Marcus
okay,
Silva.
we'll get on to later. You're right. We'll get on to later.
I can't lie. Villa at A, for me, it don't make sense, but we'll move on.
Do you know what we could do?
I think the reason why I'm giving it A is
We could change
for
this
the
around at the end.
turnaround of how bad it was to how good it became.
I agree.
Does that make
But that's what I'm
sense?
saying.
And then
Unai
it's like-
Emery deserves that rating.
Yeah.
But I can't ignore it's Villa's season. It's not Unai Emery's season. Villa 8th, I think, are around.
So it's Gary O'Neill's season, not Scott
Villa are a
Parker's
top
season.
10 side, bro. Like they should be in the top 10.
No, if Villa qualify for Conference League.
Hey, spit!
Yeah.
Spit, go on.
It's Gary O'Neill's season, not Scott Parker's season then.
No, you completely misconstrued my point. Unai Emery's season is not Steven Gerrard. Unai Emery's season is not Steven Gerrard's season, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But Gary O'Neill's season is not Scott Parker's season.
Bournemouth's expectations were lower than Aston Villa's. That's my whole point. If you want to
What
talk
was
about
Aston Villa, top
over-exceeding
10?
yeah, I would have said Aston Villa should be a top 10 club.
He's making sense.
Bro.
Because Villa at the start of the season, you would have said 10th,
Yeah,
9th,
she is,
8th.
I tried
And then now
to
they're
before.
8th.
Villa were
Like, they
underachieving
were
under
supposed-
Gerrard,
okay.
bro.
Okay, cool. Okay,
But I
good
hear what
point.
you're saying. You're giving the context of the season
Okay.
where they literally looked at one point. They
It's like
should
this.
just be
Okay, it's like
surviving.
this. We're gonna go back to it. We won't go back to it. But Arsenal, we weren't meant to compete for the league. We were meant to get top 4, right? We would be competing for the league so much. Context matters. We bottled the league. Now we've finished in the A category. That's basically what it's a similar factor here. Yeah. So it's Aston Villa. They will fight relegation. Expectations changed throughout the season. It's like, survive relegation.
Yeah.
Emery's like, you know what? I'll do you one better. I'm taking you all the way.
Back on it. I'm back on teammate. I'm back on teammate.
Steve Kerry. Hey, go.
Leah's hype.
Let's see, man. Aston Villa A is crazy
I
to
hear
me,
you,
bro.
though. No, I hear where you're coming from, but that made more
Man
sense.
said
I can't
Leah's
lie.
hype,
Yeah, I'm rocking with CBK.
CB
CBK, go follow. Hey, we hit 10K as well now.
They give the producer a little screen time. He gets too much shit, bro. It's all good, bro. Hey, Sharky will be back soon. You know what?
Bro,
This is the new rivalry. Asim hype. How about that?
you're to the bench players.
Hey, you're a producer as well. Hey, don't forget, you're a producer as well.
You're talking like starters. I hate it, man.
You're a producer as well, you know.
Hey, that's the line we use on him.
Wait, is it?
He said, get back to the 1s and 2s. That's the line we use on him.
Say no more. Hey, by the way, next couple call sheets. I don't know his name ain't there.
It's time to go back to 8 p.m. in Europe. 8 p.m. Hey, come back back to that shit, man. Every Friday.
Get back to the night shift.
All right, cool. Aston Villa is an A for us, right? Brentford. This is an interesting one.
B.
Expectation going into the season, what did you have?
Second season syndrome as well. You got to remember. So
I had them staying up.
yeah,
personally.
B I think is fair because
Yeah.
I
B,
think
yeah.
you expected second season syndrome, and I think they well above and beyond
The expectations. And on top of that, the only two major signing they made was what? Hickey and Damsgaard.
And they lost Eriksson, to be fair.
They lost Eriksson.
And to be fair to Brentford, they are the poorest team in the league. Like they have the least budget.
yeah.
But
They have that
the
money
reason,
ball
the
kind of
reason
thing.
I thought Brentford would stay up and actually comfortably, maybe not top 10, but comfortably still, they have a great coach. They have good players. They have a top striker, and they just work well together. Now, I think there was a period in the season where Brentford looked like they could potentially push for Europe. Like there was a small period where it looked like
Brighton,
that.
Brentford, Fulham.
Yeah,
period.
and you know what? That was like, okay, A. We're talking A star. If Brentford, Hounslow, they qualify for Europe, bro. Yeah, if they did that.
Yeah.
But they've basically carried on what they did last season, which, in my opinion, that was an A. But to do it again for a second season, B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
They're
that's
ninth right now.
Yeah, it's a good season for them.
Yeah, I mean,
Last season they finished what? 13th, 12th, 13th.
around that area.
Yeah,
I think it was.
and their form really came when Eriksson came in.
Yeah.
They catapulted when Eriksson
No,
came in.
And losing Eriksson, and they still sustained, and they did even better than last season.
This
in my
season-
opinion,
yeah.
Eriksson was signed in the season last season. One of the
One
signing
of-
seasons.
yeah, no, I agree.
Brentford this year, they went through a period too. Like they didn't lose a game for like 15, 16 games, bro. I think recently it started to fall off a bit. But
They've gone for a rough patch.
And their away record is
If they've surpassed last year's league position,
could argue
Is it a
A.
B?
second season syndrome beating that as well.
and combine it with one thing as well.
Losing Eriksson.
And combine it with their away record. Going to Etihad, they won. Going to Arsenal, they
I
drew.
can't lie, this might be an A, you know.
They dominated United.
I
too.
think this might be
United.
an A. I want that push to an A.
Yeah.
I think they deserve that. Like, how often have you seen
And-
that?
Because expectation, he just
And-
said you just said Leah's right to stay in the
They
Premier
were
League.
staying up.
it's
but
fair,
It was
I can hear it.
was like if you saw them 15th, 14th, maybe you would have expected them.
Yeah,
you
that
wouldn't-
would've been
you didn't
fair.
expect them top half, and then if they tail away,
Yeah, I
they finish
expected
10th.
12th, 13th
Yeah,
again.
and they
you
still
know
have
what?
an opportunity for a European push.
And the fact that no major signings, and the fact that we've got Aston Villa on A, when you know what, Fez,
Put them on A.
We.
we. Yeah.
Speak of French.
I hear you talking about we allow. Oh, you speak French.
But then again, man, I can't. Hey, Brentford. That's
Brentford are one position behind Aston Villa, and they're 1,000th the club size.
Do you know what an
it's
A
true,
star
yeah,
is?
he's-
A
Villa
star
should not be an A. I'm so sorry. This doesn't make
It's-
sense.
Don't worry.
A star would be if Brentford made Europe.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I think real. Liz is like, absolutely hates us after this one, you know.
the thing is,
I hate him.
what I'm thinking is,
Never liked him.
We're colleagues, Zach.
even yeah, what would Villa's?
Do you hear him? You guys were colleagues.
I'm gonna check you outside.
No, I agree.
No, wait, sorry. Fuad, what was your point?
But no,
Sorry.
I was gonna say Villa ceiling because we're saying A. If they got Europe, for example, that would have been an A star.
yes,
Does that make sense?
exactly.
And I don't think there's anything higher that they could have done. Like they couldn't have gotten Champions League.
Yeah.
So A star is their
agree.
ceiling. That's
I
why
agree.
we're giving them the A. Brentford, similar thing. If they got Europe, it would have been an A star. But I agree. A. For
agree.
what
They
they've done all
surpassed
season,
expectations?
fairly consistent as well.
I agree.
I think that's completely fair. I think Brentford deserves an A. Crystal Palace. Me and you, Fuad, we're looking at each other. We have to give the floor to both Leah's and the Faisal.
Okay. Have you?
Go ahead. Start. You already started, bro. Go ahead.
No, you first. No,
You
first.
hang up first.
Cool. I feel like with the expectation and everything, it's a D.
I think I can hear a D. For me, C is like the bare minimum
That's
because
C
We have no
is-
one in C, by the way.
C
yeah?
is only C's me being generous and me complimenting what Roy Hodgson have done.
yeah, it's
what,
true.
But what Vieira have done,
Yeah.
that's a D. And bro, I'm being generous as D. That might be an F. His Crystal Palace tenure is actually a flop.
No. This season is a flop because last
yeah,
year,
this season,
last
this
year, right?
season.
Like this is the reason why for me I'm leaning more towards D as well, and only Roy Hodgson is really salvaging it. Crystal Palace last season, they got rid of Hodgson. They got rid of a lot of the older guards. They kind of wanted to bring in this new culture, this new identity, a younger group of players, and they actually did really well last season. They made it to a cup semifinal. I think they were very firmly solidified in like mid-table, playing good football, and the expectation this season was to build on that. Again, we talk about West Ham. The trajectory
Top
was
10,
up.
top 10.
And this season, especially the 10-game period where I think they didn't win a single game. I think they lost every single game.
There's one where they didn't have no shots on target.
Yeah,
three
I
games.
mean, look, they
games.
completely collapsed in terms of play style, was unrecognizable. The results went out the window. They were in a relegation dogfight. Vieira got the sack, and I wasn't a fan of the Roy Hodgson appointment.
think
Because for me,
anyone was, to be
but
fair.
it was for me. It's not about Hodgson. It's just like you're going back to what you were trying to get away from.
It's like going back to your next.
At the first sight of like trouble, you go back to what you're used to.
Yeah.
To be fair to him, though, he has done extremely well since he's come back in. They've kind of refound their feet. They look like they're going to survive comfortably this year. But I can't shake the feeling that, bro, all the promising progress they made last year has all gone out the window in a season.
Correct.
And I think they've gone backwards. I think they've gone backwards.
They got a
Exactly.
strong 11 on paper as well. They actually do.
It's not even that, because bro, I look at it, the ranking thing. I base on a lot of factors. One of them being signings. Yeah, they knew a couple of positions like a right back. Come on, like heading into this season, we all knew. Everyone here knew.
Klein and Joel Ward.
Even Mercer knew, fam, that a right back is a must.
Most is like,
That was so unnecessary. Random stray.
even Mercer,
even Lears knew this.
everyone knew a right back was a must.
100%.
They didn't get one. A striker was a must, bro. You can't rely on Mateta. Or what's the other guy?
Edouard.
So he wasn't backed.
Huh?
He wasn't backed properly, you would say.
No.
Yeah,
I would agree he wasn't back.
He wasn't backed.
Is it okay? Is it backed or is it not picking the right player?
So you say scout idea. Scout time.
idea. You picked I think the call rate. I think
Yeah, who's been decent?
he picked Anderson. Anderson was
No, Henderson was already.
Last year.
Was he
Last
already?
year.
he was
But
already there?
was it
was
Vieira
long
signing?
term.
No, but was it Vieira signing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was Vieira signing.
Majority of Vieira. Yeah.
So why did you manage? Why were you stubborn enough to stick with your current two right back, Ward and Klein? Where was the
You
striking
can't
option?
overhaul the whole team when you're a club like Palace, though, can you?
But I'm not saying the whole team though. You've got the main ingredients. Just add the cherry on top to it.
Sometimes you feel like we can cope one more season with that weak position, if that makes sense. And I think Klein coming back in, he offered a little something second half of the season. They maybe thought they could plaster over the cracks, if you like. But I do agree that kind of run of fixtures, it almost. Obviously, I've always said that the teams he played during that time,
Or tough.
you
They were
have
tough,
to
man.
take that into account.
He got
And
sacked
that's
when they
that
got like an
context,
easy
yeah.
eviction list. It was
So, which is
unfair.
why I always kind of look at Roy Hodgson. I'm like, you got the benefit of the doubt because of the fixture
But
list.
to be
eased
fair
up for
too,
you.
bro,
But it's how they played.
bro, they literally were like a meteorite the minute he got there. Again, I was actually the minute they hired Hodgson. I'll be very honest. I said I want Crystal Palace to go down. I want him to go down. I'm actually disappointed that he's done so
Cherry-picking
well.
their
bro.
talent. That'd be nice.
Not even that, bro. I was just like, I didn't like the appointment. I don't like how they had this whole philosophy that they were trying to become more expensive and get younger, and then at the first sign of trouble, go hire someone else, bro. They hired Roy Hodgson.
But then again,
But then again,
Eze's flying.
Of course, bro.
Leeds,
That's what I'm saying.
but Leeds-
But that's what I'm saying. You were saying, Hodgson, he had the easy schedules.
Yeah.
Bro, he's taking this team. They look completely
has.
different.
But
He
Leeds,
deserves massive credit.
didn't it make sense to go back to Hodgson because of the fact they were fighting relegation at one point? So wouldn't you to go with a new manager that maybe unproven, like a
Yeah, I mean,
project
it
kind of
depends
build?
what they do in the summer, to be fair. Like,
Yeah, it's more
if it's just
Roy
like,
Hodgson
okay,
makes more sense
yeah.
for the interim. That's what I mean.
Fair
I'll give
enough.
them a C because I think they're achieving their target.
Yeah,
just
Stay
like just
safe.
middle of the ground.
We're achieving our target. We're around where we're supposed to be. Maybe it's a bit of a roller coaster season, but that's life down there.
C's fair.
That's what I said earlier. I see it's only because of what Roy Hodgson have done.
Yeah.
And now, you know what?
He's
That's
recovered
fine.
it.
They're
Yeah.
12th in the league. They've secured.
Yeah, and bro, Vieira's fine. Yeah, you know what? That's fine. I see because
I think we're happy with a C there. Nottingham Forest. I think they.
Forest, bro. Forest is a D.
There's I think
Forest
I
is
think
D.
even lower.
Even
Nah,
even
D.
D. You can't tell me you. Well, I don't know who thought of the idea. Let me sign 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many players did it
It's
sign?
only an F. It's only an F if they get relegated, Hasib. If they were in the
Yeah.
bottom three, it'd be an F.
That's what it was.
Yes,
That's
yes,
what it was.
yes.
Yeah.
But who had? Did anyone have him going down?
No,
I can't. I had Southampton. No, I didn't personally.
it wasn't me.
But the thing is, I had him going down only because.
And it can't be an F then for you.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I noticed it straight away. It just didn't make sense to me when you sign that many players. It just doesn't gel well. It's very similar to the Tottenham situation when you sold Gareth Bale or Aston Villa when they sold Jack Grealish. You get this whole string of like 7 or 8
For
players.
me, it's like QPR, bro. They remind me
Yeah.
so much of
Yeah,
QPR.
exactly.
By all these
Or
players.
not even that. Or Fulham. Coming.
Yeah, good example.
That's a good example.
Serie D
Exactly.
or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly.
Fulham.
They were never, for me, they were never gonna do well, and I think they'll always tip for relegation for me.
Do you know what?
That's why that's why I'm changing my kind of view now.
I thought they were the one that could maybe break that mold in the sense of we
Yes.
saw all of those teams do that and it didn't work for them. But there was patches in the season where I looked at them and it was like, they can get by.
They have
They
something.
can sneak a 1-0 at certain games. Their home form as well was so good as well. I was like,
It was
that
only
will
recently,
just
yeah.
keep
The
them
away
up.
form,
Yeah,
that's awful,
it's the
man.
away form that has been killing them. So
And gelling all of those players.
I think Steve Cooper. I think
task.
Steve Cooper actually deserves credit, right? Because especially there was one point in the season, I think after 10 games, where they were bottom of the league, like rooted to the bottom. And I think
And
it
he
got to a
turned it
point.
around.
And I think it got to a point. Actually, the reason he turned it around is I think he was trying so hard to fit all these players in. And I think at one point he just said, "All right, we're gonna stick with a lot of the guys that got us up last year. Gibbs White and Brennan Johnson. I'm gonna build a team around you, and we're just gonna do what we know, bro."
yeah.
Ben Renan Lodi and all the of course they've grown into the season as well too, but I think he really trusted those guys and they actually had a decent as well January transfer window.
Yeah.
The likes of Danilo. I think they
And what helped as well during that period, as you mentioned, the new contract. People were surprised. Why give him the
It
contract?
did give a lift.
Exactly. It gave a lift. Just you know what?
when shit hits the fan. Are you still
Might
a
as
fan?
well. It might just stick with him. What's the worst that can happen? There you go. You know what?
So
He
you're
did.
saying a D?
I said D. I
I'm
said
saying
D.
C because I already had them tipped going down. But the fact is they're above the relegation zone.
I
Barely,
say
3 points.
I say that's only out of the 15, 16, how many? I don't know how many signings. Only a couple of them have actually showcased. You know what? They've actually got potential. Danilo, I can see himself playing in a year or two in a proper top 6 club.
Okay, yeah.
He's
White too is quite good.
Gibbs White, but then
What was your
Gibbs
expectation?
White came with a 45 million price tag. Like,
I think it was
he had
40
to deliver.
with add-ons.
With add-ons, yeah. What was your
He had to
expectation
deliver.
of Forest? Sorry.
I
before-
call like Forest for me. I predicted them.
Oh yeah, that was your dark horse this season, wasn't
my
it?
dark horse to actually do because I got
You saw the
sold.
signings.
I got
No, of
sold.
course,
Like,
of
that
course.
sold me a dream.
So you
I
said-
think Gibbs
You
White
saw through
though.
La Liga
I think
names,
Gibbs White though. I think he deserves more credit than you're giving him, bro. Because I think if you can say, "Oh, 40 million," everyone criticized that deal. Bro.
100%.
Everyone is saying it's a terrible signing. Why are they buying Wolves as reserves? He's been outstanding for
The only
Leeds.
reason,
One of the
okay.
signings of the season.
Of course, yeah.
You know,
And
I'm
they
a-
also have one of the worst signing seasons, which
No,
is just
exact-
Lingard for me.
Yes.
That's it.
They got a few. They
Yes.
got a few contenders for
Yes,
that.
the only reason why I said it is on the not maybe flop, but it's because they sold him at the same amount they bought Nunes from Spawn. So I basically compared the sign.
He's had a better wow, I'm stuttering like you, bro. He's had a better season than Mateus Nunes.
rivalry? I thought you guys are friends after this.
I love this.
Like I said, we're colleagues.
You got me.
I agree. He was the better signing, but I compared the player, the ability wise.
Okay, sorry.
He's had a better.
What was it? D? What would you go? D? Where would you go?
Blame Faisal.
D? Where would you go? He said D.
All right, blame Faisal.
Sound like a cartoon character there. That one. All right, guys. Yeah, guys. If you watched yesterday's watch along, yeah, we need to talk about that one. What were you saying yesterday? You watched that clip, right?
I can't lie.
Check out AS's Twitter.
couple people said, I can't lie, it's funny still. Like a couple people sent me the memes.
But we have one thing to tell those people.
Couple people sent me the memes.
Four words.
No, listen. Fair play. Listen, you know what? It's funny. I actually laugh at it. It's funny. But shut the hell up, man. You know what I mean? Shut the hell up. But I can't lie. Like, you know what? Keep sending them. It's actually funny.
But shut the hell up, man. All right, next team. Oh, God, this team. Okay. Oh, Everton Football Club.
Everton, I can't. You know what it is?
This is so Chelsea Football Club, F. It's worse than it. It's worse than Chelsea.
I was just about to say F. I thought you.
What? No way, bro. That expectation
Okay.
was meant to get Europe.
Hold on.
Whoa. No. I had them beginning of the season, 17th, 16th.
What?
Yeah.
I had Everton going down.
Everton?
Yeah, bro. Their squad stinks, bro.
No. Last season, their squad stunk.
their squad stunk this year too, bro.
You're looking at their team
Nah.
now.
No,
like,
I came into this.
not me, bro.
I came into this season. Same. I came into this season. I saw who the manager is. I said, no.
No, yeah, of course. Expect that's what
No,
I'm saying.
no.
But what's it okay, let's say that manager wasn't there. What would have been the expectation before that season?
15, 16? Looking at that
That
squad.
team. That team is not
Their
good.
squad
You're looking
stinks,
at the
bro.
name and historically and looking at that
Thank
and
you.
thinking this is David Moyes, Leon Osman, Tim Cahill, Fellaini.
Martinez.
Carlo
Them days
Ancelotti,
are-
James Rodriguez,
them days
them
are
ones.
gone. They're relying on Burnley's leftovers and Tarkovsky, Connor Cody, Wolves' leftovers,
facts.
like
And
the
injury
clubs
prone.
around them leftovers. as well.
Yeah, I think you guys
Damari
can- I think
Gray,
you guys changed my mind, so-
Save us, please.
I think I'm stuck with the name. It's
Everton,
the heritage.
Everton, I'm telling you this right now. Southampton have better individual players than them. Individual talent, not as a
You
collective.
have said
They
this
have
before,
more individual talent than Everton, bro.
agree.
Everton, you're talking about Tarkowski and McNeil. They went and poached a team that went down 2 of their players in an attempt to stay up.
But
What are we doing here, bro?
Let me ask you one
And that
question.
same team just got promoted with over 100
But,
points.
let me ask
that's
you one
why.
question.
Let me before you do
Go,
that.
go,
That's
go,
why. That's why for me they're actually a D because I was convinced all season, and even when they got Dyche, I was saying Everton. They're going down. This is it. Like this is what they actually need. They need a spell in the abyss. Refind yourselves. And I say under Dyche, honestly, they haven't been that great. They've won a few more games, but they actually look at this point. They might stay up, bro.
There's 17, 2 points
No,
more.
man.
Bro,
I don't think they
the
will.
way Leicester, Leeds, and
This is another
Southampton
subject to
already down,
change.
You know what, Leicester.
bro.
Forget about them.
That result
No,
that they
no,
just had
Leeds,
against
Leeds,
Brighton, bro.
Yeah,
will keep
yeah,
them
that's
up.
that's
Yeah,
a
I
big
can't lie,
result.
that weekend was-
That's
So
a
I
big
think I give
result.
Everton a D, bro.
And Leeds and sorry. And Leeds, bro. Actually, that's no point talking about Leeds. We're about to.
Yeah, we'll get onto them. We'll get onto Leeds.
But so what? So what? You guys are saying
D for me.
D. Oh, sorry. No. F. Everton.
Even if they stay up. They're right now.
No,
if the
if they
season
stay
ended,
up, D.
But then-
the season ended today, they would stay up. They're not
Yeah,
in the
so
bottom
that
three,
means
bro.
your expectation was 16th, 17th. There has to be a
Okay,
D.
D.
Yeah, it has to be a D.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
D has to be a D then.
First.
All right, next club.
But then again, you know about Everton.
Why do I put them in a team and say, hey, wait a minute?
It's because Everton's that club. I've been seeing their slow
Yeah.
gradual decline for like 5,
I've been
6 years. I'm
calling
like,
it every
go
year,
down,
bro. Yeah.
Go down! Go down!
I wanted them
And
to
they
go
just
down.
won't go down.
I
And
want
now
them
it's
to go
like they're
down.
finally at their pathetic end, and they're somehow still going to stay up.
Do you know what it is? It feels like Sunderland. Do you know when it was just like so many years?
Oh my, that's a great one.
Yeah, so many years. Just flush the shit.
Middlesbrough was the same.
Oh.
For years, just like 16th. Go the hell down, man!
You have a La Liga team like that? It's like, you're still here.
Just get out. Finally,
Getafe was like that for
Getafe,
years.
bro, and
Oh.
they pissed me off as well.
Oh, the football they played, Atletico Madrid kind of football at one point, wasn't it?
Pissed me off. Well, they made. Well, people forget they beat Ajax in Europa. In Europa.
No, but I heard the balls. The ball.
No. They produced someone.
Granada or
Getafe.
Getafe.
Yeah.
They had someone came from the Premier League that was sick.
From Getafe.
Yeah.
What, midfielder or striker? Who?
I cannot remember. There's a Premier League gem that came.
When? What
from-
year?
I can't even remember now. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah,
You
let us know.
lot
Yeah,
man.
let us know.
You don't know, man.
All right, but the quick one of the Getafe one, was that a game where it was only like the ball was only in play for like 40 minutes or something like that?
yeah.
It was one of the worst games I think.
And by the
40
way,
minutes.
and by the way, that was Ten Hag's Ajax. I'm just saying.
Why'd you point at him?
That's Ajax. That's him. What at him, bro?
All right, listen, the next club is Fulham. Yeah, Marco Silva, this is the one you wanted to talk about.
You know what? We need to give.
It's context
Fulham-
again, though.
We need to give credit to Marco Silva.
Give credit to Marco Silva, but not to Gary O'Neill.
We
Oh.
What's that Mourinho one when he goes to Rashford?
we need to give credit
That's
to
his
Marco
risk.
Silva. What's that to like, bro? I can't
No
lie.
comment.
I'm looking. You know what? I'm looking at one category up there.
Huh?
I'm looking at.
Above A star.
No. I'm looking at. You know what? If Brentford is A, I'm giving Fulham A.
Absolutely not, bro. Fulham A.
So you think? So you?
Fulham A.
First of all, don't shout.
No, I'll shout if I want to. Fulham A.
I'm like, damn.
Fulham are in 10th, bro.
Keep shouting, it's good for content.
Where did you have Fulham coming into the league?
Go on.
I had them
Going down now.
Yeah, you had them going
I had
down
them
with
potential-
that squad.
with relegation candidates.
Nah.
And
know what it
lovely.
is?
No, wait.
Go
I
for it.
love that he said that squad because let's go through. We're looking at Bern Leno, Arsenal leftover.
Cedric.
Arsenal leftover,
Tim
bro. It's
Ream.
not the same thing as relegation, bro.
I understand, but he's the only one you could say. All the others, you look at the entire team, it's pretty much
You
Premier
said, yeah,
League
exactly.
has-beens
I had-
and Premier League
I had Fulham
leftovers.
coming 12th, 11th, bro.
No,
Yes,
you
bro.
did not.
15th,
Yes, bro.
16th, and I was thinking, Marco Silva, this is your last Hail Mary at the Premier League. Because if you fumble this one, you are out of here. And the way he's coming,
And
I'm sorry.
Combine with the narratives as well. Mitrovic. Oh well, can he do
Mitrovic
it?
scored 47
Okay,
goals.
okay,
He
but
broke
here-
the championship
how
record.
long has he been banned for now?
Okay,
And look at how they fell
They
off, bro.
combine.
Exactly.
So then how really good is it? Is it more so Mitrovic just carried
Lias. What I'm trying to say, combined with the fact heading into the season, yes, I know he scored so many goals, but the narrative was about him. Can he now replicate in the Premier League? Andres Pereira, well, look at him. He's a super sub. Can he replicate it? The only sign which makes sense is Willian. Exactly.
Palinha is another one. A top signing that every big club wanted, and they got him, bro.
Palinha was the only one, and I predicted as well.
You wanted to say that.
He had Palinha having a great season.
I'll show you guys later.
It was outside the best players outside the top 6. Remember that video me and you did?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I said
you had Palinha top 5.
Hold up. What are we doing here, bro? Fulham are 4 positions above Bournemouth.
Wait. So where are you grading them?
B.
Okay.
A, bro. They have not had a better season than Brentford. They haven't had a better season than Bournemouth.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is?
That's what I said.
You said A. No, you said they're. You said A.
You're looking at one category.
Don't change
You're looking at one category.
This guy is so confused, bro.
I hear your reasoning, but it's a B.
No, the reason why I'm putting A is because my expectation heading into the season. You man are basing it on that. Yes.
So your expectation was you were casual and you had Fulham going down. So now, Fulham, bro. Hold on.
Okay, in that case,
Hold on. Who has a better squad? Bournemouth or Fulham?
No.
Bournemouth or Fulham was a better squad?
No. In that case,
Bournemouth or Fulham was a better squad?
You're calling me a casual, because yeah, Fulham go down. If I'm going down, I'm taking it.
I said 15,
No, you said it to me.
I said just above the relegation
You
zone.
said it.
Why are you trying to sling your mud at me?
I'm going down.
Fight your mates, bro. Don't fight me.
Hey.
Fight him.
If I'm going down,
Fight your high mates.
This podcast, hey, everyone's going down, bro.
if I'm going down, I'm taking everything.
I'm taking your ass with me.
You told me about.
You want one for him too? You want one for him too? Oh man, you're a casual. I bet y'all are both casuals.
Wait. Did your answer? Did your question get answered? Bournemouth or Fulham?
Who has a better squad, Fulham or Bournemouth?
Did it go? You have to answer this question.
Okay, next team is Southampton.
So you win.
Of
What would
course
you
I win, bro. Fulham have not a better season than Bournemouth or Brentford.
B.
How about that?
Fulham B.
I love when you answer. How about that?
Fulham B.
Okay. Can I just ask a question?
Go on, answer the question. By the way, we just put Fulham in B, but answer the question.
Who do we think has done a better job? Because I still think it's Marco Silva. Thomas Frank or Marco Silva this season?
Thomas Frank.
Thomas Frank has, bro. That Brentford team are great.
I look at them and I'm like, they've both done great jobs, but I don't know why.
I think Mitrovic has carried.
Because Fulham coming up,
carried.
I look at Marco Silva's job better. That's the reason.
And going back to my earlier
Because Fulham
point.
coming up this season. That's why
And if you ask, yes, you're calling me and him a casual. But if you
You didn't call me a casual, my guy. I like
You
that.
guys going down.
No, Fulham. No, I don't have them.
You're not casual.
But if you ask, let's say 100 people, 1,000 people, I'm sure.
think most of them would have
I'm
Fulham
sure
going down,
majority
bro.
of the people had Fulham.
You know what it was?
Fighting relegation, I would.
No, going down.
But
They
going down, no.
were newly promoted this season, Fulham, right? Yeah. I think that everyone basically had the newly promoted teams going straight back down. I think that's the
I think
casuals.
that's lazy.
That's the
lazy
casual.
analysis, bro.
That was the casual take. What was the private joke you
So
guys
who did you have going down, Faisal?
He just did this hand sign like. It's like that ultimate Arab uncle. Stay down.
خلاص.
Faisal, who did you have going down this year?
This year, I had
myself going down.
You had Bournemouth going down.
Sorry, let's go.
whoa.
Keep going.
I see you cut that off. I had Bournemouth 100%, Fulham 100%.
So newly promoted teams.
and
Nottingham Forest.
I had Leeds.
No, Nottingham Forest was his dark
And guess
horse.
what?
You've gone potentially 0 for 3.
Only one of the right.
Wow, casual.
I
But-
think Leeds will go down.
But everyone.
Why are you sweating so much?
No, I was gonna say something. Everyone had Liverpool to win the Premier League. What about you?
City. No, I'd
Oh,
see.
well done.
I'd
Oh, what about the casuals now? Where are the casuals? Spin the block!
When it comes to Liverpool, I'm happy to be a casual,
Where's the
right?
casuals now?
I'm happy to be. I'm gonna predict Liverpool to win like every year, bro. How about that?
Don't try it.
Fair enough. Okay, listen, next team. We got
I had to
Southampton.
flip it still. I had to flip
Southampton, 20th in the league. Southampton, 24 points. They basically confirm relegation at this point.
Yeah, that's F.
I
bro.
think that's an F, man. I
That's
think
F.
there's not much to talk about Southampton. They've had very disappointing. It's
know what
disappointing
it
because
is?
they've been a mainstay in the Premier League for a while.
The F as well for sacking Hasenhüttl and then bringing
That was so
bringing in
silly.
Nathan Jones. I'm sorry, that
Pound for pound, bro.
Hassan Hurdle, bro. It's very
He was
rare.
pound for pound.
It's very rare that a manager is in the relegation zone or whatever when he gets fired, and 6 to 8 months later, he hasn't been hired by anyone. And his reputation has probably gone up, bro.
It's crazy.
Because he would have saved this team.
And the thing is,
For more now.
the past 4 years, Southampton,
you're right.
they haven't backed him at all. Every year he's lost quality players, and every year he's somehow kept them up. Despite the 9-0s and
he's lost senior players, and they've replaced them with
The
players.
Lavias, the young players.
Players that don't have any first team. Lavia, before it was Livramento, now the Bazun. I think he played at
Edozie from
Portsmouth.
Z, what
Bro,
his
they're
name is.
players that forget about just being
Was it
inexperienced
Kaleta Carr
players.
and
They have
Bianco
no
and them,
first team
yeah.
experience, bro. These are reserves at other clubs.
Yeah.
and then you
Didn't
lose.
they sign
and then
like
remember-
Freeman C youngsters, right?
Remember
Yeah.
when
Edozie, I
they
think,
lost
yeah.
Danny Ings, their top goal scorer, and they replaced him with a championship guy?
Yeah, it's
Armstrong.
true, man.
It's like
Hassan was kind of like
so he's always had his arms tied behind him, and I always felt like you're doing a good job.
Playing
or
good
whatever.
football. He always played entertaining
Always
football. Always
tried
got a result or two against the big teams.
But like one guy said on this table, bro, he can't respect Hassan Hutu because he cried after
Why,
winning
man?
full
that's what
match.
Cam says the same.
Wallah. Bro,
I
I've been saying since last season. He's a haywan. I just cried after winning a game. Come on.
Don't you cry after winning FM, a full manager game, when he beat me?
Bruv,
Remember that
I
time?
know for a fact he was crying when I gave him them 4-1 licks in his
Oh,
mouth.
I heard him. I heard him crying.
Listen.
That's sniffles.
Why you think I'm just
Are you man? But let's go off topic for a second. Have you man ever cried for a game?
Yeah.
For a game.
Football. After game, you mean? Football game.
Yeah, like either win or loss.
But bro, I'm not. I'm
Tier
not
3 since 03.
Damn.
What about lasagna gate?
Bro, I can
Yeah,
tell.
I can't win.
I've
Let's
never taken a belt. Yeah.
What about lasagna? What about
you tier free.
You won't meet my pops. My pops might beat you now.
It's still tier free.
what about
Soldiers out here, B.
what about like lasagna gate? What about Champions League final? What about cup finals where you lost? No tears.
He'll cry when they win, bro. He's used to that shit, bro.
Literally.
Well, you haven't.
Oh, so you always had that like other.
You haven't cried for.
I've cried. Yeah.
Conference League gonna have this guy looking like Kobe.
I cried at the Birmingham game. I cried at the Birmingham. Wait. I cried at the Birmingham game, the Carling Cup final.
Oh.
When Koscielny got slapped in the back of the head, I felt like I got slapped in the back of the head as well. That's
Femi Martins. Shit out your boy. And Quares
Oh,
does that-
Femi Martins.
and Quares does that shit.
I cried. I've cried with one as well.
Which one is it?
The Bayern and Madrid.
I'll tell you, the only time I ever,
Champions League quarterfinal.
The penalty shootout.
Oh.
the only time I
the
ever cried
jersey.
over football, bro.
Jersey. And that was supposed that season was supposed to be the La Decima act. That was
You
that.
really? Oh, this was when La Decima hadn't happened yet.
That was
I wish we saw that. Oh, let's get the violins out.
that was
I'm playing the world's smallest
stretch,
violin right now.
a stretch of 6-7 years of losing in the round of 16, bro.
Fantastic.
Jose came.
I remember those years.
Jose came. The season before, we got robbery, bro. That, as you know, Barca, Pepe.
Robbery.
See
is
what
scary.
fans do nowadays.
Pepe.
You
I
get
agree.
robbed.
And then, Rob, 100% robbery.
But, wait, didn't he rob Bayern that season when they got a red card?
Anyway,
Barca
Hey!
robbed him when Messi dribbled everyone from his own half. He robbed them.
No, he did.
robbed their souls.
but what happened before that? What happened before that? Pepe got sent off. Why
Oh, the Pepe Danny Dalvez thing. Was that the one?
Yeah.
that
Now
was
Real,
red.
so now Real Madrid fans, they care about the intricacies of refereeing in Champions League.
know what?
Brother, you
biggest
you
myth-
robbed Bayern 6 different times.
The
bro.
biggest myth, and if you know, you know. If you know, you know. The biggest myth, because people keep highlighting Real Madrid, Bayern, 16-17, where the Ronaldo, the 2 offside goals, this and that. Yeah, all right.
Vidal,
All right, cool.
Casemiro.
All right. People keep highlighting that. If you know, you know. Go back to watch that game, 90 minutes,
I have.
and see. No, you haven't. Clearly, you
Promise
haven't.
you I have.
Clearly, you haven't. Because you're clearly
not-
you haven't.
Go
Go back,
My judgment's
go
not
back,
clouded.
go back, and see Bayern.
see it with true eyes.
See what Bayern's decisions went to their favor as well. If you know, you know.
Every
You know
game
what? Clip it, edit it.
This is like
and
Barca
what send
fans
it
say,
to me.
the robbery at Stamford Bridge. If you saw the first, like, oh, bro, it wasn't a robbery. Get the hell out
What was
of here.
it?
Because you know
Yeah,
what? No, because you know what? Before I said
go
that,
on.
the only ones who complain about it are non-Bayern fans. Ask every Bayern fan.
How many Bayern fans do you know, bro?
Internet, shut the up, bro.
Hey,
This guy, man.
bro. Hey, whoever DM'd Faisal that? Let's talk, bro. Let's talk, bro.
Cases,
Right, he's like-
I'm building up cases on all of y'all. Yeah, boy.
You gotta play better basketball in Pelican Bay. Shoe program.
I'm on to you.
Go on to the next
I'm
one.
not gonna say the next part.
I'm waiting on you at the door.
Listen, the next team we got 4 more teams left. Yeah, we got Brighton next. Brighton and Hove Albion.
Brighton,
De Zerbi.
They're currently 7th in the league.
De Zerbi, you know what? Listen, I
Stop
can't.
saying De Zerbi, come on. This is you, bro. Give yourself props.
I'm interested in where we put this guy, actually. Yeah, go ahead.
I think in terms of what De Zerbi's done, I reckon, you know what? I'm looking at it from every single aspect of things: scouting, players, selling, even the ones bought. I'm giving it an A star.
So just the whole Brighton in it.
A whole this season.
Graham Potter and De Zerbi
This
combined.
season, no, listen.
Because he signed players.
Potter laid the foundation.
Yeah.
We need to give him credit.
Hey, don't say that. Remember Stellini and him had beef after before the game before that. Don't forget that.
Potter laid the foundation. But I need to give credit to Brighton as an institution.
Yeah. No,
everything,
of course.
that's an A star. This season, what they've done,
It's been
It's
very
an
impressive.
A-star.
It's an A-star, I think.
from
I
top
agree.
to bottom, 100%.
I agree. I would have gone A, but I think you're selling me a little bit there.
A-star. Expectation this season.
Expectations for the season, players that have come in, the way players have developed, managerial.
Even the way they've sold players and they made bank. Cucurella.
Signing
Bro, that's what I
Casado.
meant. That's why I said
Don't
players
forget
bought
FA
and
Cup
sold.
semi-final as well.
FA Cup.
Yeah.
semi-
Oh yeah. Of course. And they only lost on penalties.
And the penalty. They sold Cucurella for how much? 70 mil. They bought a much better player.
Yeah.
Bissouma, Casado.
Trossard mid-season.
Trossard mid-season.
His contract's running
Mitoma
out.
came out of nowhere. Inisco, that Paraguayan.
Oh, Inacio.
Inacio.
No. Sorry, that's
Cisco.
Enciso.
Sorry,
Inacio.
and Cisco.
Yeah.
Next season.
Oh, what was that one? The Argentino Buononet.
Buonanotte.
And now watch next season. They're gonna sell.
Enciso.
I think McAllister apparently rumored for 80 million.
They'll sell him.
Cassette they're gonna sell it. But guess what? Billy Gilmore now over the past couple of 3 weeks, he's been playing good football. Apparently they're rumored to sign a South American player who's apparently doing sick. I think not for River Plate, the big teams, but I think for one of the.
One of those other
I
bottom.
thought it was a ginger kid at Boca.
It's I know
There's
I
a ginger
I
kid
know
at
I know
Boca.
it's an
It's
Australian.
serious.
Yeah. Bro, they rumored they're close to sign him. They already signed Joao Pedro, who's a
Oh, that's a very good time. They've got
That's
Milner.
why
They've got
as-
Milner for experience.
as a combination of a lot of things. It has to be an A-star.
Me personally, every big team should literally just be, like those memes where it's like you're copying over the homework.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah,
what every big team should be doing with Brighton's
100%.
Yeah, exactly.
scouting players.
I agree, man.
Go and
I agree.
nab all of their players. Right now they're 7th with 2 games in hand.
Yeah.
I think they could potentially be 1
2
point.
points off Tottenham.
They'd be 1 point off Liverpool if they win both their games in hand. So I'm almost inclined to give them an A. But I don't know, bro. Like when you look at past the results, the way they play football, they are the 3rd best performing team in terms of actual performances in the Premier League after City and Arsenal. In terms of entertainment value, I think you could argue they're the most entertaining team to watch. I know that's subjective, but for me, I probably enjoy watching them more than any other team on the planet.
Yeah.
And then again, you look, like Faisal said, at the finances, the amount of money that they're spending on these players. Mitoma, who
They've
the
gone
hell
about
saw
football
this
the right
coming?
way,
They
yeah.
sold Cucurella, and Estupinian is twice the player. They sold Bissouma, and Caicedo is 3 times the player. Yeah, it's just like, you know how you talk about Chelsea from top to bottom, it's a failure of the institution? From top to bottom, Brighton are just like the poster childs now for any team looking to have long-term sustained success in the Premier League. Look at Brighton.
Which is why I've been saying, like, if De Zerbi for me leaves them this summer, I'm looking at him like you're a fool, because this is almost like building to something. You can see it. If they can somehow, some way qualify to Europe, whether it's through the Conference League, mate, see how far you can take this team. You've got a young core. You can keep it together for maybe 2-3 years even. Just see where you can take that. Your profile is only going to go up by staying here.
I agree.
Go in Inter and then you go and fumble there next season. Where are you going after that? So for me, I think he should stay for the next 2-3 years. Almost what Pochettino did with Spurs. Try and take this as far as you can.
I was
man.
going to say Pochettino at Southampton.
Nah, Pochettino at Spurs. See if you can get them Champions League and listen.
I
Why
agree.
not?
And this-
Toma, Casado, McAllister. Can you lot stay one more year, please? Why not?
Doubtful.
And this season showed me a lot of others.
Sell one, I would say.
Really?
I think they can sell one.
I think
and probably
McAllister's as
keep-
good as gone, to be honest
I
with you.
reckon-
McAllister,
Yeah,
no,
I
I
reckon
think
so.
with Toma stays, I think Casado, they can convince him. Say he was going to sign a new deal.
He
wasn't
did sign a new deal. He
Yeah.
did sign a new deal.
He ain't got nowhere.
I reckon the 2 incidents that happened in Brighton, which surprised me about De Zerbi, was the Casado situation. Bro, any club in Brighton's situation, if they got offered, 80, 90 mil from Arsenal,
Yeah.
I think
that's
I think it was like
big-
70, 80.
Big piece, bro. Said it, but
But they're like, no, we're competing.
He said, I don't give a shit. You're coming back I don't care about your little letter thing that you posted on Twitter.
There he is.
You know, it's very heartfelt. It's very heartfelt.
I don't care about your 15 siblings.
I think you have to give
You're
credit
coming back.
I think you have to give credit to the Zerbi because not only did he come back, but a lot of players could sulk or like look at Trossard for example. That's the perfect example.
Exactly.
Trossard basically
was completely frozen out.
Yeah, he was frozen out and he decided he wanted to leave. And the Zerbi said, I bet you're out, bro. That's another one that they left, and Mitoma came in and gave them amazing performances in his absence. So I think you also have to give credit to the Zerbi on getting Caicedo back on side and getting him still performing to the extent that he did.
Trossard's the only really signing that has left Brighton recently that has performed well outside. Basuma went and he never performed well. Cucurella hasn't performed that well.
Ben White, to be fair.
That's like 2 seasons ago, isn't it?
Yeah. Or even
Graham Potter, I mean.
even dropping Sanchez, starting still, which people at that point it's like, what's going on? But then look at him, look what he's doing now.
Would you agree? I had this thought. You could call me
steel prop now. Yeah, a couple weeks ago you was giving him.
You're telling him how to save a goal.
Forget, you know. I'll be real. Stay ready, mate.
He's got the receipts, you know. He's got receipts.
But that week it was against someone else though. I don't care about him. Now you're my man.
This I don't know if you think this is a crazy point I have. Do you think they have the best first and second choice goalkeepers in the Premier League? No. Who's your one?
Brighton.
Yeah.
As in Sanchez and Steele.
I think
from the drop in quality from first to second.
You know, I'll give it to you. I'll give it.
I'm saying Brighton.
I'll give it.
The drop off in quality.
Matt Turner.
I'll give it to C as well.
Yeah, I'll say Ortega. I was going to say Ortega's a good goalkeeper.
Ortega's a good shout.
Where did he come from, by the way, Ortega?
I have no clue.
I've got him.
This guy spawned out of nowhere.
FM generator.
I started attacking him in FIFA. I was like, who the hell is this jerk?
Youth generated.
It's not even that, bro. He's over 30.
Bro,
is he?
He's over 30, bro. Check it.
I beg your pardon?
He's 32, yak.
Ortega?
This is like when I found out Nacho was 30.
That's the UFC fighter, man.
crazy.
No, I checked it. I checked the other day. He's 32.
I thought it was like some 24-year-old, 23-year-old or something.
You're looking at Jenna Ortega, bro.
I might be wrong.
We say Allison and Kelleher.
He's 30 years old. Yeah, you're right.
Actually, that's a great
Allison
one.
Kelleher.
Allison Kelleher.
Kelleher's a very good one. Kelleher's a good one. But Brighton is in that conversation.
It's up there, though.
It's
a good rotation.
I'm not that crazy.
Sanchez, I'm not too keen on.
So I'm saying Brighton
A-star,
right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Leeds. What are we saying for this?
At least
F.
It's an F.
It's been terrible.
100%.
You broke your record transfer for Rota, who's been an absolute dud as well.
He hasn't played. I look, that one I feel bad for.
You're not feeling the narrative.
No. Because I'm not having this year. Sometimes I feel like you're not going to start. Especially if you come in as a January signing. But guess what? When you get given 15 minutes to 20 minutes, give us something. Give me some energy.
Not in a relegation dogfight, bro. Those kinds of signings, bro, coming into a new league for that much money. It reminds me of when Leicester signed Kramaric in the middle of their relegation dogfight. They broke their record too, and he didn't hit the ground running. We all knew he was a good player. He went back to Germany, did well. He played in the World Cup.
Player. That's the thing. Rota was okay.
I didn't watch much in
Hoffenheim.
So you would say like he was.
I didn't watch.
Bro,
much
he was
of him either,
okay.
yeah.
He was not a prolific goal scorer. So I don't know why you're signing a guy who's got 7 Bundesliga goals, which is a league that's known for inflating your numbers. This guy's got 7 there. And you're signing him to save you from relegation.
I don't even look at that one. I look at
It's,
McKennie, bro.
McKennie's another.
McKennie.
No, I was going to go through all of them. McKennie, I don't
apparently
think
Medina
Aronson
been-
had like 6 weeks at the start of the season where everyone was hot on him. Since then, it's just flicking his little hairbands.
The only one
I'm
that
like,
looks okay is Tyler Adams. That's the only one.
McKennie, I feel like he's been about.
Wolber,
If I'm not
wasn't
wrong.
too bad. Wolber, the centre back.
Oh yes, Wolber, the
I
centre
thought
back.
he was
Yes.
decent.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Rocker's been terrible as well.
Yeah, and he was one
Mark
from
Rocker.
Bayern.
No. Yeah.
Rocker's been terrible. Fair play. I don't know why.
Look at the clubs that they're coming from. Barca, Bayern, Juventus. Bro, you're coming to Leeds. You should come here and show us what you got, bro.
However, the only actually it might not be Tyler Adams. Gnonto.
Oh, that's a
And Javi Garcia didn't even want to play him.
Yeah.
He stopped playing him, bro.
I mean, this is the team that beat this.
Sinistera gave us a few flashes.
That's the thing. Leeds have talent
Some
in
of
this
them
team.
had that purple patch.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Leeds have good
They beat
individual
Liverpool
quality,
and
bro.
for this season as well, man.
Leeds have good. I mean, they drew to United at Old Trafford too, bro.
see.
They have good individual quality. They have some good young players that I believe if they go down, I think a lot of Premier League teams could look at a few of them and say, "Yeah, you could probably do a job for me." But I think you look at Jesse Marsh being fired, deserved. But I think you had that period where you had Armas and the other one come in, and then Javi Garcia has been an absolute disaster of a signing. And you've gone from Marsh, who was like one philosophy, to Garcia, who's another philosophy, and now Allardyce is a completely different philosophy. And you're just basically hoping in 4 games he saves your season. Leeds this year, like after what was a really promising first 2 years under Bielsa, don't know what direction they're going in now anymore. They're buying players that are good, but they don't fit a mold. They're hiring managers that don't fit a mold. They're just freestyling that shit. And I think they're going down, and it's disappointing, to be honest. Because when they actually came up, everyone was like, Leeds, they play good football. They got good players. Bro, they're sinking, man.
Because it started with that American dynasty, innit? Jesse March, he bought his little man them. He bought his little man them. Come, brothers, come. Like him as well.
I was on his PR trade, but he might as well hired me, bro.
He was doing that. Yeah, we coming.
He was gone. But now look, so he's left. And now McKennie, I reckon he might cut as well.
No,
McKennie's going to cut.
McKennie, though, I don't know. Me personally, I'm not a big McKennie fan anyways, but...
If I'm not wrong, haven't they been playing as a 10 or something
bro,
like that?
But that's the thing. No one knows where he plays, bro. I mean, like, United, he played right back for Juve.
Juve, he was playing wide.
He played right back for Juve, but
was he the one where they had an
fans.
interview where they were like, they were speaking in German, and he was like, oh, wait a minute. Was he the one?
He's the one where they were like, what do you put on your pizza? He's like, I put ranch on my pizza, and Chiellini looked at him like he had like 8 heads. But, bro, like, I know United fans are like, oh, could he be a decent signing in January? He can play deep, he can play as an 8, he can play as a 10, but bro, he doesn't excel in any of those phases, bro.
That's why. What makes me laugh when Premier League fans they look at someone and they only base it. It makes me laugh over one maybe World Cup competition or Euros competition.
He scored that scissor kick against Barca. That's the one for him, right?
Yeah, exactly. Or the little compilations, and they basically, you know what? He could be a good player.
Especially, Leeds fans, they look at a Juve player and they say, okay, you can come to our team and raise the levels. I remember it's like West Ham fans, they saw Kerrer, who's another one we didn't even bring up. I played for PSG, plays for the national team.
He was
it's crap, bro.
Shit, bro.
It's crap.
Kerrer was always...
Kerrer,
bro. Kerrer was always shit.
He lost PSG the Champions League final in 2019.
Kerrer was always shit.
He's a bum.
He made Coleman look like Ronaldinho.
Yeah, that's
like you know when Schalke aren't even trying to cash in on you.
Bro, before the season, the tier list, me and Shaka were doing it, and he said, Philo Kerrer, yeah, he looks... I was like, no, this guy's shit, bro. I swear to you, I don't know how he's frauded his way here.
He made Kingsley Coleman, that Champions League final, look like Ronaldinho.
Yeah,
I promise you, he had him dancing, bro.
But that's the thing, that's narrative. If you come from a big club, you must be good.
That's what it is, yeah. But if you're going from Juve to Leeds, you can understand why fans of Leeds will be like, oh, okay, cool, we're getting a player from Juventus. They could this guy could change our season.
But then again,
he's been unlucky with the system and where they've been playing him and all this kind of stuff.
And you played a Juve under who? Allegri. Come on, man.
Kenny is a player. The record signing for me, okay, whatever. Like, I think that's a tough situation for him to come in. But an international who's played in the Champions League, who I actually think you look at his profile, should be accustomed to the Premier League. He's a physical player. He's
dynamic.
That is what I'm expecting to come in and keep Leeds up. And he's failed. A few of them failed. Leeds are an F, bro.
They're an F. Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I think Leeds do deserve to be an F. I think this one's going to be a sad one. Leicester City.
That's an F as well.
Leicester, man. It's sad to see, bro. I think at this point, they are 18th. They're 2 points off the safety.
After back-to-back trying to losing...
They won FA Cup. They
Community Shield. Losing
for the past 6 years, they were almost everyone's second team, darling team in the Premier League.
They were what Elias just said earlier about the institution top to bottom. Yeah, the Brighton.
Yeah. And people were looking at Leicester as like, this is how you upset the established order.
The survival of that season, everyone was like, incredible. It reminded me of that great survival West Brom. The next year, win the title. FA Cup comes. Community Shield the next year. Champions League as well. Let me not forget to the quarterfinals.
That's against Atletico, right?
They spent 2 seasons back to back. 95% of the year they were in the top 4. Back-to-back seasons, and they lost both of them on the last day of the season.
Last game.
Owner dying as well. Yeah. Like this is,
and I think that's a huge one.
Mentality on that.
Everyone has always, for one reason or another, you've been drawn towards Leicester because of the story, and that's why, as you man said, it's kind of sad actually seeing them in this position because even over the past 2 or 3 years, I think they've always been the team, like you're saying, cherry picking from Southampton. Everyone's looked at Leicester like, I'd love a Maddison, yeah. Barnes, maybe we'll take a gamble. Tielemans, we might take a gamble. And Ndidi might be able to do a job somewhere. But now you're kind of looking at them, and I don't know if that same allure and appeal is there. And they've almost unilaterally all dropped at the same time. Yeah. Vardy doesn't really look the same at that level. Iheanacho's still streaky, if that makes sense. The defense that was kind of solid doesn't really look solid. I mean, you had Pereira, who's ever reliable. Then he got injured. They brought in Castagne. He was ever reliable. He looks shaky now. Is James Justin, who looked like a breakout star.
He went
through injuries.
Let's call a spade, right? Maddison has been garbage, bro. I think he's a great player. He's been garbage these last few months, bro. Honestly,
a few months. Okay,
The second half of the season?
bro, he's
Second
been.
half.
He's been.
There was a point he was killing it.
First half
Carrying
of the
bro.
season, he went on a run. I don't know if he was just like
World Cup.
determined to make the
That
World
World
Cup.
Cup.
He was brilliant. I think Madison's a top player, and he'll go down. And top teams will be after him for a reason.
100%.
But bro, for an England international, for a player that we all laud as a top class player, he has not done anywhere near enough keeping Leicester up this season. But there have
There's
been
only so much you can do,
but
though.
there have been better performers in that Leicester
then
team than
again-
him, bro. He has let himself
Name-
and his team down,
Name me
bro.
one a better performer than him this season.
To be honest, I think
In the
even
last few
I think
months.
even Vardy, bro, since he came into the team, is providing more than Madison.
But
But
then
Madison
again-
has been poor, bro.
I agree. Leicester, we said it. It's F. But then
It's-
again,
yeah, it's
but
definitely
then
an F, I
again,
think, yeah.
it's context as well. Like you're giving Brendan one signing in the summer.
Twice.
That's what I'm saying.
Bum.
This is where the ownership issue, bro.
That's
It's
it.
not even about the mentality, bro. I think it's 'cause running a football club. People think you just like splash money or whatever. Going from a father to son is not just they have the same last name so they can. The recruitment at Leicester, not just this season, but the last 2-3 years. You look at the French midfielder that they signed, Kamara, Sumar. Excuse me, yeah. Kamara's from Villa.
Or Mendy. The
Mendy is further back though, but I mean, I even look at Slimani, Ghezal. They've spent so much big money on players that just have not worked out whatsoever.
That's the man in Gazal. I'm sure they're trying to replicate the Morris team.
Even the guy up front that they signed, bro. Diabate, remember that one guy? Bro, Leicester have signed so many duds for big money, and we just kind of looked over it because it was Leicester, and it's like, they have good recruitment. They'll get a Tielemans here and there. They have been stinking in the market for years now, bro. And this is honestly just the culmination of it.
And you forgot one person that they signed this summer, Daka. Or was it
Daka was last season.
was
Another one that they got from Salzburg.
It was
Salzburg.
with Leicester at one point. It was only like forward positions they just couldn't recruit well, but midfield, defense, and they were doing all right. But for some reason, forwards they just couldn't find
And
anyone.
Daka was killing it at Salzburg.
Yeah, he was. He was very good.
He was killing
I
it.
think
So-
it's unanimously,
On the thing of Madison, you say, the team, he can't do much. This is where I go back to Richarlison. Richarlison kept this team up last year. I'm looking at, and it's not to diss
what you're
Madison.
saying.
You need in relegation
subject
dogfights.
to-
You need
Your
players.
star players to
You need,
rise
those
up.
are the. That's how
Yeah.
you make your bread and butter, bro. We've seen it throughout the years. These relegation teams. There's always a maverick. There's always one guy that digs their team out, wins them games individually. Madison hasn't held up his
Madison
own.
being the one
bargain.
in his peak as well, I guess you would kind of being the main creator, set piece taker. You
But
would
when
have
Leicester
thought.
go
and that's
down-
crazy. Relying on Madison to be that leader,
Superstar kind of
it's
thing.
long for you, fam.
But when Leicester go
The
down,
thing is, though, when the team were good, he was happy to be the focal point of everything.
Yeah, but then again, when the team goes down, is he ready to step up?
I think I look. Yeah, I don't.
And
Want,
that's what he's questioning.
Yeah,
He's saying
exactly,
that
exactly.
kind of mentality to say.
I don't want to
And this
question his
season-
mentality or his personality, but I've been very disappointed in him.
and
the
this
second half of the
season as
would
well.
you take him at United?
based on his talent, yeah, I would. Especially
I know you put
back
your hand
up
on
to
Arsenal,
Bruno.
Liverpool,
Yeah.
Tottenham.
But then
We
again, what do
build
you?
a team around him.
But then
To
again,
be honest, he's gone down in my estimations. I would take him,
Yeah.
but I was looking at him a few years ago. Like when you guys signed Odegaard, I was actually thinking, maybe they should have signed Madison instead.
agree. I was on that
think
train.
you look now a few years later, that looks like a ridiculous shout, bro. He doesn't walk into any of these top teams anymore the way we thought he would a few seasons ago.
But the worst one, it's not even Madison. The stocks have gone down for
Tielemans,
Tielemans.
and he's a free agent, bro. He's free.
Nobody's
He's free, bro.
Before he's a free agent, but nobody's coming
His
for him.
stocks are awful, fam. Defensively,
Yeah.
this season's been
Off
exposed.
the ball, he's not great.
He's horror.
On the ball, decent.
Horror.
But off the ball, he's
I think
horror.
Ndidi is another one too, bro.
Ndidi,
People were talking about him as a
Ndidi.
top GM in the league.
One
and-
person has them in their contacts. Be careful, okay? If you've watched my TikTok, okay, the one man behind the camera has an Ndidi in his contacts.
CBK.
But listen, Leicester City is an F, and we're going to the final team, Wolverhampton Wanderers. They started out with Bruno Lage, and then he got sacked, and then they brought in Lopetegui.
Who's done a
Who
good job.
Exceptional job.
Exceptional, yeah.
He's done a very good job.
Context of the season.
He's done it 'cause he
expectations.
started-
But then Wolves were battling
he
for
started-
Europe last season.
Yes.
This is what I was gonna say. He's done well, yeah, but I still think it's a D for me.
Yeah, I agree.
I think no. I think if we're complimenting what someone like Gary Neville has done, I'm just
You're after him today, aren't you?
I'm just saying.
But you're talking about Bournemouth start of season relegation expectation to Wolves is, hey, you're
They should have
expected
been
mid-table.
Okay,
They were challenging us.
but
They
then-
are mid-table, potentially outsiders of Europe.
When Lopetegui came to Wolves, they were 20th.
Yeah, that's true. No, it's true. I went to my phone to check something. Wolves, when Lopetegui came in, were 20th in the league. If the season started when Lopetegui took over Wolves, they would be 8th.
Oh, wow.
He
they
has done
belong. So where they belong. But as you said, the season started before
Absolutely.
Lopetegui.
So that's why. Where did you have them? D.
D.
I would have them C-. Like
It's the
maybe I
team.
wanna
It's
fill
the
up the
team
C roll,
season.
so I
But it's
don't
I know. The C roll
it's the team, but
that's like 7 out of 10.
Yeah, but it's a team season. It's not the manager of Lopetegui.
But then
It's like
again-
the Emery. It's
but
when he said
then
Emery's an
again, why
A-star
are we
season.
complimenting a manager's ability then in Gary O'Neill then? The only
Why you want to beat up Gary O'Neill so bad? What's he done?
Okay.
It's his name,
What's
isn't
the reason for
Can I
Gary
answer?
being a
Because
beast?
Faisal, I think you're looking at this almost like a managerial tier list, but you have to look at it as a team tier
That's
list.
what I was
Bro.
gonna say,
Bournemouth's
yeah.
team is infinitely less talented than Wolves' team, bro.
Okay, but
Wolves, you're talking about internationals like Neves. You're talking about
Mateus Nunes.
Mateus
Signed for
Nunes.
50 million.
Bro, you're
I
talking
agree.
about
I
top
agree.
players.
I agree, but at one point this season we said, is the players going to step up or not? We were doubting. We're like, you know what, they might not step up. But then Lopetegui came. He was the person who did that. We have to give credit for that. And he changed the style. He said at one point this season, he said, you know what, I don't need Sarabia. I don't need them, man. Give me my midfield. He brought in that Gomez guy.
Gomez, you like him,
Lemina's Gomez. I've been FM.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned
I've been
it,
hyping about FM. He changed the back line. Bueno, cut fam here. Give me that little
Where are they in the league
Portuguese
right
guy.
now?
That Portuguese guy who scored last week, bro. I'm giving Lopetegui. By the way,
Wolves have been unlucky, by the way, with that.
13.
team.
You're about to say something crazy.
but no. I said something, and you know what? Like I said,
Drake songs. The sleepers.
when I say a take, I said the moment Lopetegui got signed, they were 20th. I said it. I said, yo, Lopetegui is gonna finish top 11th, top 10. He's because he's that good.
You said top 10, 11.
They're 13th right now.
Or 13.
I know.
So if you're, he's gonna say, "Oh, my takes are like Drake's
I
song."
know.
The Drake song is God's plan, bro. That's what this is. Come on, bro.
But that's 4 games left.
Wolves have also been lucky when they signed that. Who's the forward player?
Take him back at Madrid. Never really
Who's
gave
the
him a chance. Never gave him a chance. Oh, what, you love him so much? Take him over there, you know what I'm saying? Carlos leaving.
Who's
Who's take it back in?
Hey, he wants good football, right? Alright, now it's about winning.
Now you don't like it. No, you see our
standards.
I'm watching you closely.
That's standards.
He's got receipts to do today.
That's standards.
Who's it? Kalakadze, the guy who got ACL injury as soon as they signed him?
They signed him.
That was very unfortunate.
Look,
Sugar, that was very sad.
Wolves, I think, are tied on points with Crystal Palace. They're, I think, 12th and 13th.
Yeah, you're right.
I would put them C.
See?
Yeah, because here's another thing, too, right? We have to remember that.
I feel like
He's
you're
right.
putting them C because there's a lot of players there you like.
No, I'm putting them C because I don't like how empty the C row is.
He's got OCD.
Also, what I want to say too about Wolves, if you look at them last season, right? People have kind of built up this narrative that they're top 18, top
they were
19.
falling
But,
off last
bro,
year.
the second half of last season under Bruno Laga, they were
Yeah.
they were relegation form, bro.
Relegation
form.
And one person who's been exposed this season, Joseph Sarr.
Yeah.
The guy ain't it, fam. Last season, he gassed a lot of people up.
Signing
Gassed
of the season contender.
gassed hella people up. But this season, hey, no. You ain't that good, bro.
You ain't that guy.
Yeah, so I would go C, and you have to remember too, Lopetegui is doing this without a designated striker, really. The corpse of Diego Costa, the corpse of Raul Jimenez. Like,
Acuna.
I got you.
He's got a C.
You
I
got
got
me
a C.
there.
I got a C.
You got me there.
I think I got a C as well.
I'm
man.
going to C, yeah.
What about you?
That's a C as well.
Guys, that was the end of our tier list. It was a very long one, rating our Premier League, every Premier League team season so far. That is our final tier list. I'd like to thank everyone on this table for joining
Say
us.
something to us, son.
Of course, you can have the final say, maybe for the last 1%.
The next tier list is going to be La Liga Class, baby! I know.
Nah, y'all. All right, bye, guys.